As a family, the community's given a lot to us, so it's our opportunity to give back. And one way I do that is by coaching these boys. I love watching them learn. I love sitting in the huddle with them and watching them go out and do what it is that we've been working on. The boys have to learn how to work as a group and work as a team to win the game. It's the same thing at the dealership. It takes everybody every day to service the community.
It's better at Vail!
Welcome to the Coach's Corner with Anthony Lucas, head coach of the Pulaski Academy Bruins here on PA Live, courtesy of the Natural State Sports Network. I'm Kyle Sutherland, alongside the voice of the Bruins, Mr. Tristan Harlen, and, of course, with head coach Anthony Lucas. And, Coach, I know, it was a tough week 0 game there. Really about the first quarter, it looked like that you guys might go match for match with Robinson, but obviously a very good 5A team, certainly a heavy state title contender there. And they were able to pull away. But just kind of talk about your message to the team, especially having a bye week, getting to heal up any injuries or anything like that. Just what was your message to the team after how that game went?
Well, first of all, big ups to Coach Up the Grove and his staff and their team. They did an outstanding job. Kids outplayed ours, and we were out-coached. I did tell the kids I was very disappointed in the way that we played. And when I watched film, and when we watched film as a staff, we were it kind of proved that. But I did tell them this: we got a lot to work on, a lot of things that we have to fix. But one game does not make our season. And a lot of guys were depressed, especially our seniors, because we beat Robinson so many times. But unfortunately, this year that didn't happen for this senior class. But my biggest thing was just telling them, guys, keep your head up. But we have a lot of work to do. And again, I'll repeat it again. Losing one game doesn't make our season. We've been in this situation before, but the difference is now that you got beat the way we did, and they dirtied us up, as I would say. Now how are you going to respond? So,
and Coach, a little bit of a quarterback switch there in the game. What was the message to maybe William after he threw that initial pick six on the sideline?
It wasn't just a message. It was something that we needed to do. And, I made that decision along with Coach Thrash, offensive coordinator, and our quarterbacks coach. We talked about, he said, let's go. Let's give Aaron a shot, because unfortunately things were not going well. And the game was kind of out of reach, but and William got dinged up a little bit too, so we wanted to get Aaron in the game, and it was just, William, we're gonna go in a different direction. Right now we're gonna go with Aaron, and that was it. And William didn't play well, so, and we was trying to figure out a way to try to get a little bit of momentum going, and Aaron did some things. He was a little nervous. Didn't play his best. Of course, the kids never played in a big game like that in a situation. So, but for the most part, I was impressed with some of the things that he did. But it wasn't like a major mess. It was like, we're going with Aaron. So.
And speaking of Aaron, getting those reps, obviously played the whole fourth quarter in the Jonesboro scrimmage, and we saw that big arm. He's got a really good arm. Obviously had a great career in junior high. I know him and Chase Hancock were a pretty consistent connection there in the junior high before moving up to varsity. But now that he has gotten some varsity reps, and I know by the time he went into the Robinson game, it was for the most part out of reach at that point. But just being able to get those reps, and then also having the bye week to kind of soak everything in. What are you seeing from Aaron as far as that goes?
Well, I feel good about Aaron. Confidence wise, his confidence has grown throughout this bye week, and his work, he's been working. Of course, you all know the kid works extremely hard, and he cares, and he wants, he loves it, and he wants to play the position. But Aaron, with more reps now and getting more confident running, with our first team right now, I feel really good about Aaron. I mean, he understands it. Aaron is he's young, and he's going to have to just calm down and relax and take what they give him. And, that's basically it. He just needs to relax and just and just read the field and make his reads and stay in the pocket. Seriously, that was something that, William kind of struggled with. And, William hadn't played quarterback since, 7th to 8th grade. So, it was a little different for him. And that's something that William's going to have to get better at as well. So, but Aaron has been working hard. He's looking pretty good right now. Mm-hmm.
So with the change, does anything from the offensive side, does that stay the same, or is there more stuff you guys look to implement this week that you didn't have against Robinson? I mean, what does that look like from an offensive standpoint?
Well, from an offensive standpoint, that it will be some things. It's some things that we're looking at differently. The biggest thing is you want to get Aaron and any other quarterback. We want to get them comfortable early in the football game. And with the guy coming in that young, and is going to play this week, we want to get him comfortable early on, and then as the game progresses, we'll throw a little bit more in there and a little bit more in there. But we've adding some different things too to accommodate our offense along with Aaron, and we're excited about the approach that we're taking. We got some really good stuff. But the biggest thing, guys, y'all know, you can throw so much at quarterbacks or at offense, at teams. The biggest thing is one word: execution. If we call it, Aaron along with the other 10 guys, or William along with the other 10 guys on offense, they got to be able to execute. So that's the deal.
And before we get to some defense, I was going to ask you too. One of your top offensive players, Javion Walker, had a really scary injury there against Robinson. Saw him walk off the field. Wanted to ask about him. How is he doing? And then also too, as far as wide receiver goes, I know Bryce Gittens was one that y'all really used a lot. Obviously, Mason Grayhouse was someone that's. We talk about that. I mentioned this on the broadcast. He is kind of the definition of that PA next man up mentality. When you look at how he came back and or how he came, I guess, up in replacement of Walden last year and what he was able to do. So, and then obviously you've got the youngster in Chase Hancock that's really well. So just the update on Javion, and then just what you've seen from your receivers.
Well, Javion, guys, he was cleared that following Wednesday, and he's doing well. That kid is so excited to get back out there on the football field. That was very scary, Kyle, when we were down there and just hearing some of the things that he said. But praise God, he's doing well. Man, he came out yesterday with the mindset. I mean, he just elevated himself yesterday. So we're excited about him, feeling good. I was very pleased with Bryce Gittens with the way he played. He got hit a couple of times, made some big time catches. Very impressive. He's going to continue to do big things for us. And, of course, Mason Greathouse is a game changer. You're looking at that kid that goes up and make that big catch on 4th down and went down, and he kind of dinged his shoulder up a little bit, still came in the game. He gave up a block after that, but also then he kept fighting through, man. He was out there blocking with one hand. I was watching the film, and it was impressive. Chase has to grow up. Chase, he didn't play as best. Our expectation for not just for Chase, but for all of our kids are here. But we did expect more than we got from Chase in his last game. And Chase has been called out. So Chase is going to have to grow up, and he's going to have to play better, both blocking, catching the ball, and doing all the things that it takes to be an elite receiver, because he didn't play well last game. So hopefully he'll step it up this game.
Of course, now that the Robinson game is behind us, the bye week's behind us, what are you guys seeing from West Monroe that you guys like and you plan to execute to your advantage?
West Monroe has always been a stellar program. They're very talented offensively and defensively. Their defensive line is pretty seasoned. Their secondary is seasoned as well, but not I don't think they're as good as Robinson, but who knows? Everybody's going to give us their best, guys, when we play them. So they're very talented. West Monroe has always been the team in Louisiana that everybody wanted to beat, and especially when I was playing back in Louisiana coming through. And they're well coached football team, and they're going to play hard. Their linebackers are, they're not as good as they were last year from the film I've been watching, but their D line is a lot better. So we're excited about that. Now their offense, they got a couple guys on offensive line that are scary. I don't know his name, but it's a kid, big 77. Boy, he's a monster when he gets out in space and even in the trenches. They got two receivers that are pretty good too. Their name number 4 is their main receiver. Look, I'm not a name guy, I don't know him like that, but West Monroe has a really good football team. If you guys remember that game, I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but last year that game changed in the third quarter when we got 3 onside kicks against them, and we scored off of 2 of those, and that kind of broke their back. So it's going to be a hard-fought game, and I know that they're remembering that from last year when we played them. So they're going to give us their best, and that environment in West Monroe is very hostile. So it's going to be a good football game. I really think this, though, you're going to see a much better Bruin football team that's going to hit the field on this Friday night.
And I know you guys are going down there for a business trip, but as you said, you played against West Monroe. At least I know because you grew up about an hour. Tallulah's an hour from West Monroe?
About an hour, 45 minutes east of West Monroe.
Okay,
yes,
so it's a little bit further. But so you being a Louisiana kid and everything like that, obviously been in Arkansas since you had played for the Razorbacks and everything. But that's got to mean a lot to you going home. I imagine you're going to have some family and friends there, so that's got to mean a lot to you going back to the state.
It really does. Always when we get to go and play in that area, when we went to MRA last year and stuff, had a couple friends and my family gets to, my mom and dad gets to come. But looking forward, there'll be some people from Tallulah there. I'm sure. Again, like I said, it's about 45 minutes to an hour. So east of there. And my dad, he's so big in the sports. He's been telling everybody in Tallulah, if you're not going to see the local high school play, y'all come over and watch Anthony and his team play and stuff like that. So it'll be cool. It is. And it's a little personal too, going back home. You want to prove a point. But guys, y'all know it's not about me. It's about our football team and our program and our PA community. And I know I'm from that area, but it's all about our kids, and we're going to have to go down there and play. They're not going to lay down. They're going to try to, they want revenge. I really think that. And, Coach Dizer, their new head coach, he's going to have them ready to play.
I was going to ask, or go ahead, Tristan.
No, I was just going to ask the same thing.
Yeah, well, I was going to go to the defensive side of the ball because the run game, it was a tough night against Jonesboro, with a lot of big explosive plays. But I felt, even though the scoreboard might have said something different against Robinson, I felt like overall the defense played as well as they could for the most part. Look, PA is not immune to being undersized. That's been, as you and I have had this conversation multiple times. It's more about just technique and teaching grit, when you have to make up for size. But I feel like the pass defense, for the most part, again, there's some things that you can take away, good and bad. But for the most part, I felt like we did see, and especially maybe in the first half, we saw a very well improved defense for PA than what we saw in the scrimmage game.
Yes, our defense played pretty good, and they did some things. That was impressive, and I just wish we would have played better on offense. However, the theme and the motto around here is next man up. I mean, no matter what, you still, whether we're backed up and we give it up on the minus 4 or 5 yard line, we have to find a way to stop them. And then offensively, we all have to play together on that. It has to be balanced, and I thought we didn't help our defense. I thought we didn't at times, and they could only do so much. But Kyle, you're on it. Our defense is playing a lot better, and they're going to continue to play better. Coach Taylor does a good job, along with the other guys on defense, Coach Jones and Coach Adams. They do a good job of coming together and game planning, and they get the kids to play hard. And we have to take care of things offensively. And then I think special teams is going to be huge this week too. I really think our special team is going to play a big part of it. On that second kick, the one that they took to the house, I thought about doing a different style kick on that, but boy, that NBA Landon hit it so well. I was like, let's come back to it. But they did a good job of kicking one of our guys out, and that's what's going to happen. People are going to make those adjustments. We have to be ready for any and everything. So But we got to get our kids. We got to play harder, guys. We got to be more physical, and that's the thing that we've worked on in the off season. That we hit so much in 7A that you have to be more physical once we get to conference. But now it's throughout the whole year. And I love what you said, Kyle. Yeah, we don't worry about how big the opposing team is. We go out and we play our brand of football, and great things happen. If we can be great at that, great things will happen for our football team. So. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that'll wrap things up here on the Coach's Corner with Anthony Lucas on PA Live, courtesy of the Natural State Sports Network. And, Coach, looking forward to Louisiana trip. This will be my third. So, yeah, this will be my third state to call a game in. So, between
awesome.
Arkansas and Louisiana. So, we're really looking forward. We're going to be on the road out of state the next 2 weeks. So, I know we're focused on West Monroe right this week, but that's going to be fun, taking 2 out-of-state trips for the next couple of weeks. But, Coach,
thank you guys so much for what you all do, and be blessed and safe travels down. And, guys, I want to tell y'all, leave with this. I cannot wait to get back on the football field. I'm ready to get this taste out of my mouth and to get our kids back out there. Yeah. Go Bruins.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it as well. So we will see you on Friday night, then catch you for the Coach's Corner next week.
Okay. God bless you guys. Thank y'all for what y'all do.
The road once again tonight to take on the West Monroe Rebels. Tristan Harlen here with the former coach Blake Amsler and the always infamous Kyle Sutherland. And guys, it's finally time for some Bruin football after the week 1 bye, but it doesn't come without its shy bit of controversy.
Oh yeah, it's never shy around here. But yeah, the bye week, you got to kind of regroup a little bit after that Robinson loss. Get down here, beautiful drive down through the depths of Arkansas into Louisiana. Monroe, I think is how they say it down here. And beautiful stadium. I mean, as we were walking in, we were all kind of just commentating, like just huge grandstands on the main home side. Our side, the visitor side, is also a gigantic. I mean, no offense, PA fans, but I don't think we're going to be able to fill out this visitor side anytime soon. But still, either way, a good turnout from PA fans so far. Cheerleaders getting ready. And it's football time again.
Absolutely. You look at both of these programs, obviously Pulaski Academy, an 11-time state champion from Arkansas, and then you've got an 8-time state champion here from Louisiana. You look across the way here, and we see 2 national championships for this team, and as I said, the 8 state championships. So 2 very historic programs going at it here, and what a great early season test here for the Bruins to come out of state.
Well, guys, of course, before we get the game underway, we do have a little bit of news to report for the Pulaski Academy Bruins. Star quarterback William Swoboda will not be playing tonight as he is day-to-day with an undisclosed injury. Stepping in for the UCA commit is going to be the sophomore Aaron Orgel, who we saw against Robinson make a couple big-time throws in that 52-14 loss.
Yeah, he did. I mean, it's you look back at the Robinson game and you're kind of like, man, we had to put him in just because of the status of the game. It was, we were down behind a lot. But now you look 2 weeks later and you're like, kind of glad he got some reps in 2 weeks ago. I mean, whether it was, struggled a little bit, had a little bit of success as well against Robinson. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to Aaron getting his start, getting his chance. I mean, it's what every sophomore looks forward to. I mean, there's going to be some butterflies, 100%. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm imagining he's probably about 14 or 15 years old. So, still a 15-year-old kid probably out there. As you can see on the screen, huge kids on the other side for West Monroe. So, a real test in front of these Bruins once again.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, this Aaron is the QB of the future here. So, like you said, Blake, he's gotten some valuable reps, gotten a chance to get into the Robinson game last week. Of course, played the whole. I know it wasn't against the varsity, but played in the whole fourth quarter in the Jonesboro scrimmage. So, these are the kind of opportunities that you look for as a young sophomore.
Of course, looking at this matchup, guys, I kind of want to pick your brains. Blake, starting with you first. I mean, coming off the Robinson loss to the bye week, I mean, what are you expecting to see from the Bruins?
Well, I think I got to see a ramped-up intensity. That's the thing that's always been steady through this PA program is, have we lost a few games over our time? Yes. It's always been, you lose a game, but that next game, practice is way more intense, especially after a bye week. You got 2 weeks of focused, intense practice, and that next game afterwards is usually a very locked-in mentally game. So looking forward to that. Not many mistakes, I'm hoping, from the Bruins. And, again, we'll kind of see. I'm curious as to how the offense adapts without Swoboda and now working with Aaron. And we've got the invocation coming up, so we will take a break here.
Presenting the colors tonight are members of the West Monroe High School, Louisiana 61st Cadet Squadron Falcon Honor Guard. Presenting the American flag and commanding is Cadet Second Lieutenant Annabelle Smith. Presenting the Louisiana flag is Cadet Second Lieutenant Sophia Flores. Presenting the West Monroe High School flag is Cadet Second Lieutenant Hayden McDonald. Presenting the Air Force flag is Cadet Staff Sergeant Trinique Young. The Rifle Guards are Cadet Second Lieutenant Marley Gullidge and Cadet Second Lieutenant Daniel Nissen. We also like to direct your attention to the East End Zone, where the POW MIA flag was posted in accordance with federal code during an earlier ceremony. May we never forget all the fallen soldiers, Marines, sailors, and airmen, and those who have not yet returned from battle while serving this great nation. Tonight's invocation is being given by Fellowship of Christian Students member Savannah Miller.
Please bow your heads. Father God, thank you so much for this day that you've given us. Tonight I pray your hand of protection over each player, spirit group member, and fan in the stands. Please guide each player to behold good sportsmanship, and may they bring honor to your name in each play. We lift up our country in this time of brokenness and uncertainty. We remember all the lives lost in 9/11, which we recognized yesterday, and we lift up Charlie Kirk and his family. But most of all, thank you so much for graciously sending your son Jesus to die on the cross for our sins and rise again. We love you, Lord. Amen.
And now, to honor America, please join in singing our national anthem, played by the Rebel Band.
What do you want me to do with this one? What about this headset?
And it's almost football time here for the Pulaski Academy Bruins. I mean, Kyle, I know we kind of took a little break there for everything going on the field. So what are you looking forward to seeing tonight from the Bruins?
Well, I think when you look at last week, there were two crucial pick sixes that Robinson got that really, for the most part, really kind of changed the momentum of the game. And the defense we talked about this in the coaches show that just ran with Coach Lucas in the coaches' corner, that the defense, even though the scoreboard might not have shown it, they played pretty well overall. So really, I think that you got to just basically make sure that you play a complete game on offense, because it was a pretty close one there through about a quarter or so, and then Robinson started to run away with it there in the second. Yeah. So I think really just with the new quarterback in, again, you had that week off to really work on the things that you needed to work on. So they just got to make sure that they keep up their pace. This was a really high-scoring game last year. Pulaski Academy won at 67-47. So it could be an offensive shootout, but the offense just has to match that intensity from the defense that we saw early on, particularly in the game 2 weeks ago.
Right. And Blake, I know you have a lot of film, you've known Coach Lucas for a while. And with this being in his home state of Louisiana, do you think there's some of the emotions that he's not talking about that he has deep inside?
Oh, yeah, there's definitely some of that. I think we were talking about Tallulah is just about 30, 40 minutes east of here. And you could tell before the game, he was a little bit more focused, a little bit more intense than he was that I've ever really seen him before. So he's definitely locked in. I'm sure he's feeling the pressure after the Robinson game and having that bye week to just have everybody talking about the Bruins and talking about the team. And so, yeah, looking forward to seeing how they respond.
Davion Walker, Chase Hancock back to return for the Bruins.
Also good to see Javion Walker back there. Of course, had a really scary injury against Robinson, but he's okay and he's out there.
It is now football time for the Pulaski Academy Bruins, and that one's just going to go into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Pulaski Academy offense, led by the sophomore, the future of the program. And Kyle, to your point, I was just about to bring it up. The star running back, Javion Walker, is back in the lineup for the Bruins.
Yeah, it's great to see that. You know, it was, like I said, it was really scary when he went down, and that was one of the first things that we had asked Coach Lucas on the Coach's Corner, and did get cleared last week. So I know they're going to be looking for him to make some big plays.
Of course, they're playing a West Monroe team with 2 players that are committed to the University of Tulane. So here we go. The first offensive possession for the Pulaski Academy Bruins against West Monroe. Orgel's going to take the snap. Throws a quick little screen, but he's going to overthrow him, and the nerves are showing early.
Yeah, Javion had that. He had a couple blockers right there in front of him, but as you said, Tristan, just a little too high, and that's definitely nerves as they work with tempo.
So after the incompletion, it'll be second down for the Bruins. Orgel's going to send a man in motion. He's going to hand the ball off. Has a little bit of room to run near the 20. He's going to try to break away, but it'll be met by a gang of rebels, and he'll be knocked out of bounds near the 30-yard line.
Good run there on second down to get you a nice, easy, manageable third down. So, again, this will help the young quarterback is keep it easy in the change, that keep it in where a distance where you can run and pass.
Orgel in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion. He's going to pop the ball, hand it off there. Tries to get around the corner. I believe he may have gotten enough for the first down. We're going to see where they spot him.
That was Bryce Giddens there on the carry, and he was one of the bright spots on offense against Robinson.
Did not get enough for the first, so it'll be fourth down for the Bruins, and it looks like Coach Lucas is going to keep his offense on the field. Going to pump fake, drops back, pressure coming, throws it off, and he's hit hard, and the ball's going to come out incomplete. So early turnover on downs, as that one was intended for number 7, Mason Greathouse, and he's still on the field feeling that hit.
Yeah, took a big wallop there, and as the coaches go onto the field to make sure he's all right, that was a really hard hit.
I think PA was expecting some man coverage there. They were looking for that crossing route to come across and give Greathouse some space, but it ended up being zone coverage, and that corner or outside backer was just sitting there waiting on it.
Possibly just got the wind knocked out of him there, but with him still being on the field, going to take a little bit of a pause to see if he's going to be able to get off the field under his own power. Looks like he will be able to walk off the field under his own power, possibly just had the wind knocked out of him, but the Rebels will take over with great field position to start this football game.
Yeah, that's one, like on that first play, just a little bit too high, and then they had a little bit working there, but plenty to improve on from that first drive as the defense now looks at their first.
Be first down for the Rebels. They're in the I formation from the PA 30. Going to hand the ball off here. Left side, he'll be brought down before he gained a punch. Ran by number 22, Christian Ponte.
Yeah, you see him come out in that heavy formation right off the bat. One receiver, a couple tight ends in there in an I formation, like you said. They're looking to pound the rock early.
Of course, Ponte has a D1 offer from ULM, which is not far from campus here for West Monroe High School. So it'll be second down, 2nd and 7 to be exact. He's going to hand the ball off again. No, he's going to keep it himself. He got me there. And he's going to be up the left side before he's brought down. Only gained a couple. It'll bring up a third down for the Rebels.
That's the freshman Bryce B.J. Mitchell on the tackle. Moved him up. He's looked pretty good so far in the early season.
Yeah, he did a really nice job there taking on that pulling guard that pulled across, got underneath him, and made a play on the quarterback. Now we got a manageable third down here.
Brady Gio, the quarterback for the Rebels tonight. Looks like he's changing the play at the line. Sends a man in motion from left to right. Calls for the snap. He'll hand the ball off up the middle. Brace away from one. He's at the 10, the 5. He goes left, and he's going to get in for the game's first touchdown.
Went right off his H-back's hip there and just took it in. Not much more to say on that. That's one of the biggest questions that we had coming in, guys, was how the run defense looked a little bit better last week. And, again, I know that you look at the score and you're kind of like, how was that? But the run defense did play a lot better from what we saw against the Jonesboro scrimmage, but certainly cannot have plays like that.
Kick is up, and the kick is going to sail through the upright. Good. So the Rebels capitalize first with the game's first touchdown. They're up 7-0 with 9:43 left to go in the first quarter. And, guys, we've yet to see the Pulaski Academy offense move past midfield in the first possession yet this season.
Yeah, the 3 and out on the first one, and that's the thing, too, is you don't want to get, and that's kind of back to what I was saying at first, this could end up being one of those situations like last year where it was a shootout. And so the offense really needs to make a statement here, after going 3 and out on the last possession.
Hancock and Walker, the two returners back there for the Bruins. And here comes the kick from the Rebels. We line right to the end zone, so another touchback for the special teams of the West Monroe Rebels. So again, here comes the offense mainly. And of course, we talked about the turnover on downs, the first possession, and now the sophomore has got a drive under his belt. See if he can't clean it up a little bit and get the ball into the end zone on this drive here.
I'm looking to see what they might try to do with Chase Hancock there. That was one of the returners back. Of course, a fellow sophomore with Orgel that made a lot of noise in the junior high ranks the past few years. I know that they're going to be looking to get him the ball. Coach Lucas talked about how they need him to step up.
Hand the ball off to Walker. Walker has a block. He's going to get tackled around, I believe, the 25-yard line. Bring up a second down. Correction, it looks like they're going to spot him at the 24, or 23, excuse me. Orwell's going to roll out, throw it off his back foot, finds a man that's going to be caught near the sideline. It's Chase Hancock on the reception.
Yeah, nice quick throw there on kind of a half rollout, but got the ball in Chase's hands quick. And again, a manageable third down here.
Go quickly and trying to get the first down, but he's not going to be able to cross the line.
That was ate up really quick by Baylor Welch. I'm sorry, that's Maddox Dunn. We got another duplicate number.
Yeah, their West Monroe defensive line really came through there, and I think that was also like a blitzing linebacker that just was right at the point of attack, and Javion did not have much to work with here. Another crucial fourth down, and it looks like maybe swapping some players out.
Are we going to see the first? If I do punt, I think that is going to be their first punt of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they had one at Robinson, didn't they?
They might have had one. If it's not the first, it's the second.
Yeah, I think it was just one at Robinson. Oh, boy. We snapped that, didn't we?
It's a high punt, going to get past midfield. Oh, and he fumbles it. Yes! P8 gets the ball.
There's your first break right there, boys.
Pulaski Academy jumps on the muffed fumble, and the Bruins are going to get the ball back in great territory.
That was Colin Hood, number 22.
And if you ever wonder why PA doesn't return punts either, example number one. The defense or the offense is trying to give you the ball, and you give it back to them.
You're going to see it here on the replay. Just it sails for a good minute, and then it just hits him right in the numbers and couldn't couldn't bring it in.
That will definitely
Really aggressive play there by Hood to jump on that.
But there's a PI roofing penalty flag on the field. So they're going to replay fourth
gosh,
down.
that hurts.
Man,
I saw it happen.
Yeah.
You saw the guy running out there late, but I didn't see the flag come out, so I didn't think they saw it. Oh, that hurts.
I was wondering why everybody was stopped there and nobody in the offense wasn't coming back onto the field.
So they're repeating fourth down, just backing them up 5 more yards, so probably see another punt.
Of course, we're possibly going to see a fair catch here if the ball gets close to the return man.
Yeah. I don't think he'll make the same mistake twice.
Crazier things have happened.
That is true. It is high school football at the end of the day.
Some of these guys have had a long day of algebra, and they come onto the football field, and, instead of being on the football, it's on the X's or the triangles. Is that algebra? No, that's geometry.
Yeah. We won't say where you went to high school.
Hey, listen, I passed that class. I just didn't pass in college algebra.
Oh, okay.
I'm not even going to talk about my college algebra grades. Hey, once I've said this a million times. I don't know if I ever said it on here, but once you start putting letters in math, it's all over for me.
I believe the PI roofing penalty flag was on Pulaski Academy. So now the punt's going to come from their own end zone. And they're coming.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going to drop. It's going to be a great bounce for the Rebels. And instead of it being a turnover off the muff, 2 PI roofing penalty flags, and now the Rebels are going to get the ball almost exactly where they started their last drive.
Yeah, and this is when, of course, back-to-back 3-and-outs there, that's when it makes it really tough on your defense, just having to be on the field a lot. So got to make sure that they make some adjustments.
So here comes the Rebel offense, who scored on their last time out. Gio's going to take the snap. He's going to hand it off. Room to run up the left-hand side. Still going past the 20, the 10, and he's going to get forced out of bounds. Touchdown-saving tackle.
I was just about to make a comment about some of the secondary coming up and some of those safeties coming into the box to help with the run and maybe look for a play-action pass, but if you can keep running it like that, I don't think they're going to stop.
Kedrian McNeil on the carry. Going to get in the Caldwell Toyota red zone after that one.
And I think they've ran it just about every single time to the side that they have the H back on, so something to keep an eye on.
Of course, that was Jay on the tackle. Back in that I formation. They're going to come out. They're going to throw it, and that one's not going to go anywhere. Possibly just got back to the line of scrimmage. What a great tackle that was by number 24 on the defense, Hartford Lowe.
Yeah, one-on-one tackle like that, really difficult, and almost kind of brought a hand across. I thought he may have had a chance to knock it down and complete, but either way, still a great tackle, even if it was a completion.
So 2nd and about 8 here. We're going to look to the sideline for the play call. Gio's going to send a man in motion. He's going to hand the ball off to the tailback. Around the left-hand side, still has room to run, but he's going to run into a brick wall at the 10-yard line. Another touchdown-saving tackle by the PA defense.
And a hold there on T.J. Logan around the edge, but they didn't call it. But
I thought so too.
yeah, it's still a nice stop.
Yeah, good job by the defense there, not reacting as much to the motion and sticking with the reads of reading the guard, reading that H-back like you said. The H-back, that little up back, you'll see, he will usually lead you to the play 90% of the time. So keep an eye on him.
3rd and 7. After that play. Gio's going to call for the snap, another handoff, right-hand side, but the PA defense is going to bend and not break. A 4th down coming up for the Rebels.
Let's see if they take the points or go. I would imagine they're probably going to go for it. Looks like the offense is staying on the – or no. Never mind, they're not staying on the field.
Nice job there by B.J. Mitchell again, coming across down the line of scrimmage, getting off his block and making that tackle for a short gain.
Substitution confusion again, it looks like.
Hurry off, guys. Golly.
Oh, man.
Coach Lucas has to burn a timeout on that. That's ugh.
Not only that, but it gives West Monroe time to really think about if they want to kick this field goal, if they want to go for it.
What is it? 4th and 4, I think, is what the board's got. I think if it was a 4th and 1 or 2, I think they are probably
no
having
question.
a tendency to do that. The 4 probably makes you think more of a field goal, possibly.
Well, and especially with how well your defense played on those first 2 drives.
No need to give momentum back.
Looks like the offense is going to come back out onto the field for the Rebels. Or excuse me, no, it looks like they're going to kick the field goal here. I have binoculars on. I'm using binoculars, and I'm not really used to using them just yet.
You're too zoomed in, huh? You thought the offense was out there. Well, I think the quarterback is the holder, by the way, number 12. So that
we'll say I'm
may
half
have
right.
confused you. Yeah. I mean, that is a good point to make, though. If the quarterback is the holder, be looking out for a fake.
Hunter Fox, the kicker for the Rebels. Sometimes binoculars and glasses don't mesh well. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So now a 10-0 West Monroe lead with 6:04 left to go in the first quarter of play. And guys, what are you guys thinking so far?
We got to get our offensive gears rolling, guys. We haven't even come out of the gates yet.
Yeah, that was a good stop there by the defense, especially with how good a field position that they started in. But now this is when the offense really you've gotten really close to the sticks on your past 2 drives, but that's just not going to do it with these 3 and out. So you got to move the ball here and give your defense a rest.
And I think we got JB on some carries early on, which I like, obviously. But again, I think with the young quarterback, I think you got to get some quick passes, get that ball out of his hands, get him a little more comfortable behind the line. I think that's your best way out.
Well, they were starting to drive that last time on offense, but of course they ran into the play on 3rd down and then the muff punt that ended up getting called back. And I mean, it's been a story so far for the Pulaski Academy Bruins, and looking to add on to the next chapter with this offensive drive here.
T-shirts are those holding up signs. The drawing's in the 3rd quarter, so get those tickets soon.
Of course, Walker and Hancock are the two return men for the Bruins.
Nice return wouldn't hurt either. Put a little pep in their step.
Hunter Fox will kick off for the Rebels. Walker and Hancock back to return for the Bruins.
We booted right to the end zone again. So 3 straight touchbacks for the West Monroe special teams unit on the kickoffs. So once again, here comes the sophomore quarterback hoping to put some points on the board with this drive here.
Yeah, I think with 2 drives under his belt now, he probably worked out the jitters and kind of has a little bit more of a feel of the looks he's going to get. And we've seen the arm of Orgel, and I know, like we talked about, he hasn't, like the Robinson game, and then, of course, in the scrimmage, hasn't played extremely meaningful snaps until now, but we have seen that arm strength.
So 1st and 10. Walker going to be the motion man. Orgel stays in the pocket, has time to throw, throws it over the middle. That's going to be caught by Walker. Walker gets brought down shy of the 45-yard line. First down for the Bruins, and the gears are starting to crank for the Bruins offense.
Blake, if he gets time like that from the offensive line, he could make some plays.
That's what I was thinking. Exactly my thoughts.
Orgel, the lone man in the backfield. 3 receivers out left. He's going to roll. He's going to throw it near the sideline. It's going to be caught by Walker. Walker's just going to go out of bounds past the 50-yard line. And the Bruins are starting to move down the field, guys.
I liked his presence there. Obviously, the offensive line did a good job on that last play, but I loved the confidence of the young guy to stand in there, make his read, make the throw.
2nd and 3. Or we're going to shovel it around the right side. Still on his feet, cuts back territory. He'll have enough for the first down, but a great little shovel pass there to number 13, Chase Hancock.
Yeah, great job there with his blockers. He didn't get a ton of yards on that, but he got enough to move the sticks, get a fresh set of downs.
In the Rebels territory for the first time tonight. Trips right. Walker going to be the motion man. Orgel throws it to Walker. He's going to be up the sideline, still on his feet near the 20, but he's going to get hit hard from the back at the 15.
There is a PI roofing penalty flag there on the 46-yard line, though. Threw that one pretty much as soon as the ball was snapped.
Maybe a receiver wasn't on the line or something. It didn't stick out to me, but
was illegal motion on that play. So instead of being in the Caldwell Toyota red zone, the Bruins will be at about midfield, but it will remain 1st and 10 with 4:50 left to go in the first quarter of play. Mitchell in at running back. Let's throw a quick little screen there. Has good amounts of blocks, and he'll get brought down just past the 40-yard line. 2nd down coming up for the Bruins, but the screenplay finally worked for Orgel.
Rashawn Mitchell, another one of those young sophomores that they want to get involved early.
Orgel want to roll out. Time to throw. He has somebody coming from behind him, and he just gets it out at the last moment. Incomplete 3rd down coming up for the Bruins.
yeah, a decent job by the offensive line so far. He's given him time. He had a lot of time on that. I think one of those mistakes is probably a young mentality of like, I can always make the play, even though the play's kind of timed out and kind of run out. He's still trying to hang on a little bit more and give it some life. So that is a young player mistake there, which is all good.
3rd and 3 from about the 37. The Bruins back in trips right. Orgel's going to call for the snap. Time to throw. Throws it over the middle. That one's going to be intercepted, but a PI roofing penalty flag is thrown after the interception's made.
I would imagine there's going to be some sort of pass interference.
And I believe they just picked up the flag.
So they're just going to wave it off.
I'd love to see another look at that one. We're going to see a replay here.
Oh, yeah.
Might have been a little contact there, but not enough for the penalty flag. So Orgel throws his first interception of the night, and the Rebels will take over deep in their own territory as they're up 10-0.
Yeah, a little bit of a gut punch there. Actually, a pretty big gut punch there. Of course, you had the play that they got called back there on the on the initial, what was it, illegal motion. So you had that penalty that called back a big play, and then that. But the one silver lining is the offense is starting to move the ball. Let's see if the defense can get another big stop here. I know they gave up a field goal last time, but certainly have to keep them out of the end zone.
Hand the ball off, still running the ball as they've had success tonight. 2nd down's coming up for the Rebels.
Again, something to keep your eye on is watch these safeties of the Bruins as they start collapsing down to help with the running game. We're going to have to leave some of these outside receivers one-on-one. You see these two guys down here in the corner. You got them one-on-one because the other safeties on the other side are going to bump in. So West Monroe could look to take a deep shot with those guys.
We're just going to pitch it to the tailback. Has a tackle that he breaks up the sideline, still on his feet, and he'll get pushed out at around the 40-yard line. Be enough for a first down of West Monroe. And the Rebels are driving down the field much like the Bruins were doing on their last offensive drive.
Yeah, just a few missed tackles there really is kind of the story. They had him stopped a few different times, but just broke out of those.
Raheem Jackson comes into the game for the Bruins. Going to fake the handoff, has room to throw. He's going to throw a deep ball over the middle. That one's going to be broken up, incomplete by number 24. It's going to be Hartford low on the breakup.
Hartford having a good game so far. There was that shot you were talking about, Blake.
Yeah, exactly, and it's good for a sophomore like him as well. Hadn't had a ton of plays in varsity under his belt, but I know Bailey. They snuck a holding call in there on us, or on the Rebels, so that's good for us, backing them up 10, replay the down. But I'll finish my thought of Bailey, a young sophomore. I know he's got some confidence, plays other sports, and had a really good junior high year last year. So really good for him to get some confidence by knocking that one down.
Jordan Coleman, the Rebel that was charged with the hold. So we'll do first down again. Low snap, going to hand it off. And that one's not going to go anywhere. Great play by the Pulaski Academy defense to not allow the run to develop.
I'll say one thing that I've already seen in the first few drives from this PA defense is we're tackling a lot lower than they were against Robinson already. I know that's usually a week 1, week 2 type of thing. It's like you get that first game in, defensive coaches are going crazy. Tackle low, tackle them at the ankles. Second game of your season is usually a lot better tackling.
So second and about 17. Gio going to call for snap, low snap, pressure coming, zips it, and that one's going to be intercepted. Great play there by the defense. That's Hartford low on the pick.
And he's having, I'll tell you, that's right now he's the player of the game for the Bruins. With what he, made a few good defensive plays there and then gets the ball right back for the Bruins in Rebel territory.
That was almost a give me there. I mean, he threw it up, and Hartford knew he was the only one that could catch that ball, and he jumps.
High points it.
Jump man, that boy up to something, and he got up there and got it.
I like it. Tristan spitting that fire.
Hey, man, I didn't get to listen to my little Boosie or Lil Wayne on the way here.
We did hear it from somebody's car in the gas station.
We did.
We listened to it briefly.
We was in El Dorado. Is it El Dorado, El Dorado?
Yeah, it depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
So after the interception, it's 1st and 10. High snap, Orgel drops back, throws a deep pass, has a man for the moment, a flag comes out, and that's going to be incomplete, intended for number 13, Chase Hancock, but it possibly is going to be a defensive pass interference with a PI roofing penalty flag.
I think they are going to get hauled. I was sorry, I didn't mean to talk. I started to get excited here because I think they are going to get him for holding. They tugged on Chase's jersey just a little bit, and I think that's going to be the call.
Yeah. And that was probably honestly a smart hold because I think Chase was about to beat him and have a big play in front of him because Aaron did a really nice job putting that ball up, getting some air under it, and also leading him towards the middle of the field, which is exactly what you want out of your quarterback. So really positive throw from Aaron and a great route and a good move from Chase.
It's be 1st and 10 for the Bruins. Orwell rolls out, throws it near the 30. It's going to be caught. Broke away from one tackle, but you'll be forced out of bounds.
It was Bryce Gittens on the reception. Like I said earlier, Coach Lucas was really pleased with the way that he played against Robinson. They're going to try to feed him a lot too. Really proud of the way that he stepped up.
Orgel just going to throw a quick pass. Jukes away from one, still on his feet, but it'll be tackled from behind by number 4 on the defense. That's Brody Thurmond on the tackle. Two yards away from the Caldwell Toyota red zone, excuse me. The Bruins are going to go back trips right this time. We're going to check to the sideline.
Looks like a deep cover 4, so look for him to take advantage underneath here.
Send a man in motion. Orgel going to stay in the pocket, going to zip it, and that's going to be caught by number 6.
Yeah, he knew that was going to Javion Walker from there. Like pretty much from the time the ball was snapped, you could see Orgel just sitting there waiting, and then as soon as Javion came back towards, or turned his way back towards him, and he caught the ball.
Bruins in the Caldwell Toyota red zone. Vage has room to run, and he gets tackled behind at the 5. Just popped out of nowhere. I thought he had all the time in the world to get into the end zone there.
Yeah, he had green grass in front of him to the end zone, but number 20 caught him from the back. Did they call time? Yeah, West Monroe called the timeout.
And the best offensive possession this season for the Bruins, possibly knocking on the door of 6 points for the Bruins as there's a timeout on the field.
Tell you, one person that keeps showing up for me is Pierce Phelan, right tackle for the Bruins. Going up against number 7 for West Monroe, Smoltz Lilly, who looks like an absolute animal. He's listed only 6'2", 238, but golly, he looks bigger than that out there. But great job so far, Pierce, is standing in there fighting and done a really nice job. Honestly, been impressed by the offensive line. They've held up pretty well. I know we've had to roll out a little bit more probably than Coach Thrash wants, but getting done.
I wonder why you're impressed by the offensive line.
You know what? I'll call him out if I need to call him out.
You talk about Smoltz Lilly, though, a guy with multiple Division I offers. One of the many players on this Rebel team that has multiple D1 offers. As Tristan talked about in the pregame, you got 2 guys that are committed to Tulane. So very sought-after group here.
And the Wildcat Walker going to keep it himself up the middle, and he gets in. Yes. Touchdown, Bruins!
Massive response.
Definitely. Wonder if Aaron knew he was signing up for some lead blocking back when he came into tonight's game. That's what they had right there.
Hey, when you got a quarterback that'll – you in most cases don't want your quarterback throwing blocks, but the ones that are willing to do so,
keep them
that's
around.
the team players right there.
Yep.
Bruins going for 2. Orgel time to throw, throws it, and it's going to be intercepted, but a flag comes out, has room to run down the sideline. They're going to blow the play dead. Very obvious PI roofing pass interference call there.
Can't return them in high school either anyways, so you just wasted a 40-yard run for no reason.
So I've noticed something. They call it holding more than pass interference.
I thought that was interesting too, because really that last one that was on Chase, I kind of thought was pass interference. I'm trying to remember the specifics of it. I think holding might occur before the ball gets in the air, and a pass interference is once the ball has left his hand and it's in the air. Then it's cutting into you. Once I think that was handoff to Javion, right?
Javion kept it himself in the Wild Bruin formation, and they're going to say he is no good. So after the failed 2-point conversion, our score 10-6, and the Bruins find the end zone in the first quarter. And I mean, I'm looking on the replay on the big board here, and listen, I'm not going to say I know the difference between the hold and the pass interference, but being a play-by-play commentator, you got to know the difference between pass interference and holding, and it looked like he shoved him from behind. But nonetheless, it's still 10-6, and the Bruins get in the end zone.
And that's the good thing about that was, too, your defense for the most part, actually being really not just for the most part, your defense is playing well, especially some of the situations that they've been put in. So now they had a little bit of a chance to rest and see what they do here if they can get another big stop. Preferably another turnover.
as we were just coming into town to grab a little bite to eat on our way in, one of the first things we saw a couple Monroe fans right around the stadium. One of the first things he said, guys, was what? Don't get too many onside kicks against us. So they are the whole town and school is aware of these onside kicks. So, and I always liked when a team was really worried about them all the time. It felt like it got in their head a little bit more.
It
was
does.
like, especially if you miss that first one, the kids start thinking about it even more and more and more and how big of a deal it is.
That time the West Monroe Special Teams unit falls on the ball, so they'll take back over in their own territory this time. And you got to think there's a little bit of pressure going towards the West Monroe offense now.
Yeah, I would say so, just a little bit. Especially, obviously you still got the momentum. You still got a 4-point lead. But especially with the way that you were playing at the very beginning where the offense, PA offense, just really couldn't do much against them. Now the Rebel offense understands, okay, they're starting to really get things clicking, so they've got to do that themselves.
Of course, last time out, Hartford Lowe got an interception that led to 6 points for the Bruins. Of course, they failed the 2-point conversion out of the wild Bruin formation. Here we go. 1st and 10 for the Rebels. Just going to go a halfback pitch here around the right side. Still on his feet past the 50, and he'll be forced out of bounds after a big-time carry. Lost my roster. Blake stole my roster, and that's number 7 on the carry. Kedrian McNeil.
A little bit of over pursue there in the backfield by the Bruin offense or Bruin defense, and he just went around the corner and used his speed.
The fourth wall knows no boundaries here at PA Live sometimes. After the carry, be 1st and 10 from about the 48-yard line. Back in the I formation is West Monroe. Pulaski Academy shifts their D-line. Looks to the sideline for the check as he's impending a blitz here. Gio with the snap. He's going to hand it off. And again, the Bruins defense, great job maintaining it before it becomes a big explosive play. 2nd down coming up for the Rebels.
Another thing to keep in mind, I know we talked about they put Raheem Jackson back in at that right corner spot for PA, is in situations like this against teams that have those 2 receivers on one side but just a tight end, no receivers on this side, there's a lot of pressure on your corner, especially Hartford here, to really come up and have to make plays on any sweeps coming down to the bottom of your screen.
Gio going to call for the snap, fakes the handoff, and it gets batted down, incomplete. Great play by the defense. And I believe that's number 2, TJ Logan, with the bat down.
It was indeed. We talked a lot about him, especially with what the plays that he made against Jonesboro. I mean, he is the leading tackler at linebacker. Actually, I think the leading tackler on defense for the Bruins that's returning. Of course, they lost 2 linebackers that totaled over 200 tackles, so he needed to step up this year, and we've seen it plenty of times.
So 3rd and about 8. So I believe there's 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. After the incompletion, the clock will stop. So this likely will be the last play of the first quarter. Gio calls for the snap, drops back, and he gets batted down again. Incomplete. 4th down coming up for the Bruins defense.
And that was Bryson Usserly there. Back-to-back knockdowns. Brings up a long 4th down, and the punt team's coming on. A little momentum for the Bruins, huh?
You're telling the defense from here on out, just get those hands up.
Yeah, exactly.
Bat those balls down.
At this point, I'm kind of like, please throw the ball as long as you're not going to keep running it.
It's going to be a high punt. Going to drop down near the 15. And it'll go out of bounds just past the 10. So Pulaski Academy will get the ball deep in their own territory at the start of the 2nd quarter. The first quarter concludes, and your score, 10-6, Rebels. We'll be right back after this. And we're back here to start the second quarter of play between the West Monroe Rebels and your Pulaski Academy Bruins. Tristan Harlen here with the former O-line coach Blake Amsler and the always infamous Kyle Sutherland, as the Bruins got in the end zone as they look to continue the quest to regain the lead with a score here. Orgel sends Walker in motion. Going to throw it quickly, and he just drops it. Hits him in the top of the hands.
Yeah, just I mean that probably could have been caught. I don't know how much he would have gained after. Of course, you never know when you get the ball in Javion Walker's hands. You never know what can happen. Just a dynamic player, but probably could have hauled that in a little. Maybe heard footsteps.
So second down. Ball on about the 8.5-yard mark. Orgel, the lone man in the backfield. Time to throw. He zips it. That one's going to be caught. To be caught enough for the first down. So the Bruins move the chains from deep in their own territory. That's caught by number 7. Who else but Mason Greathouse?
Yeah, good to see him back. They, of course, took that shot early on, appeared to knock the wind out of him. Just really on a line right there. Great throw by Orgel.
Handed off to Walker. Walker with a burst of speed. Room to run. Spins away from one. Still going. Past the 30. On his feet. And he gets forced out of bounds just shy of the 35-yard line. What a play by 6.
He's really starting to heat up.
An angry run there from Javion, and I love the anticipation of the last throw from Aaron. The secondary is kind of messing with him a little bit, coming up, dropping back, but he had really good anticipation on that throw to Greathouse.
3 receivers at the bottom half of your screen. Orgel's going to roll out. Pressure coming from behind. He's going to find Walker near the sideline. Walker trying to get a little bit shifty with it. He'll get forced out of bounds near the yard marker. I believe it's going to bring up second down.
I'm fine with leaving him all alone.
Yeah. Exactly. They've done a really good job of having that safety valve there in the corner for him to always fall back to. Always love a second and short as well. You got so many options.
Orgel with trips receivers near the bottom half of your screen. Going to send a man in motion. Going to shovel it. Almost lost control of the ball, and that play's not going to go anywhere. The ball came out after the whistle blew. I believe he's going to bring up a third down for the Bruins for the moment.
Yeah, I think he lost about 5 yards there, so that really puts you now behind the sticks when you were ahead of him on 2nd and 1.
And honestly, that might have been a best-case scenario right there because he bobbled it as soon as he took it, so might be okay with a loss compared to what could have happened.
So 3rd, and it looks to be about 6. Orgel with the check to the sideline. Orgel steps up in the pocket. He's going to throw it, and that one's just going to be incomplete. Overthrew his man, Chase Hancock, the intended Bruin, on the play. And decision time's coming up for the Bruins.
Yeah, tried to get it there down to Hancock. It looked like he had Mason Greathouse on this was a crossing route, but didn't see him. We'll see what they do right here.
Orgel trying to go in a hurry. Has time to throw. Pump fakes once. He's got to get rid of it, and he finds a man. Believe he got enough. We're going to see where they spot him.
Yeah, he got it by at least a yard.
And that's going to bring up a first down for the Bruins. So the 4th down play works as Orgel recognized the defense wasn't ready, got on the ball, called for the snap. We're going fast, gentlemen, so don't think you're going to get a word out here. They're going to shovel it here around the outside, gets some couple blocks, tries to dance with him, but he's running the wrong way. Got to go forward, and he goes out of bounds.
Oh yeah. I would take that.
Yeah, he pushed him like way out of bounds.
Right into his own coaching staff out there.
PI roofing penalty flag on the field.
That was about 3 or 4 really quick plays from PA, and I like it actually because you can see, look at these D linemen with their hands on their hips already, and I'm sure, I'm looking at the sideline, they probably got some subs that they can bring in, but
and there's 2 things you like about that. Obviously, you get the free yards, but it wasn't like it's not like he was out of bounds and he got popped. It was just one of those where he got pushed a little bit, so that was a good thing too, is that he didn't take too big of a shot.
So the Bruins are going to march right into Rebel territory after the penalty. PI roofing penalty flag, that is.
Pulaski for the Rebels.
10:24 left to go in the first half. One-on-one coverage near the bottom half of your screen. Wilson. Sends a man in motion. Orgel, time to throw. Throws a deep ball, landing up there in a double coverage, and it's going to get incomplete.
That's one he definitely wanted to have back. He had Javion all alone there for a first down, and this is stuff that'll come with time. We keep going back to it. Look, this is a young quarterback that's going to learn as he continues. But hey, compared to how this offense started, they are really rolling a lot more, and they've got something going here.
Yeah, I definitely like the look of what's happening, but you're right, totally. They had a little two-man combination there with Wilson going deep, Javion short, and it actually did perfectly exactly what they wanted to. It crossed up the secondary players, but we just missed the read. We could have put that ball right on Javion.
So second down coming up for the Bruins. Orgel throws a quick little screen. Walker's just going to be met immediately by number 10 of the defense. It's going to be Lee Cotton on the tackle. So a third down's coming up for the Bruins. I believe he lost about 4 on that play, so it's going to bring up a third and long. And a flag's going to come out, PI roofing penalty flag, and I believe he signaled for a false start. It's going to be Wynn Wilson, the Bruin, charged with the false start. So a 3rd and 14 becomes about a 3rd and 19 now. We're going to drop back, throws it, has an open man. He just overthrows him, incomplete. 4th down coming up, and I know Orgel's going to want to have that one back.
Yeah, just a little bit too far over his head, but, man, he had it.
And you see William Svoboda on the sideline near the coaching staff trying to signal to Orgel what play they're going to run here. You love to see that from your senior leader. 4th and long, the Bruins are going to go for it. Orgel has time in the pocket, throws it over the middle. That one's going to be intercepted. Basically a punt. And the Rebels are going to take over from about their own 30-yard line. The second turnover today by Orgel.
I guess now they're winning the turnover battle 2-1, and defense has played really, really well tonight. So we'll see if they can come up with another big start. Of course, that's the thing too. I keep going back to the silver linings here, and that's the one thing they have had chance to rest. So they've really just stepped up just about as well as you could ask them tonight. So hopefully they can make another big play here or another big stop.
So 1st and 10 from about the 30. Hand the ball off up the middle again. Only gains possibly 3 on that one. That's going to be ran by number 23 of the offense. Or maybe possibly 22. Sorry about 22. That. Christian Ponte on the carry. Sometimes the fold of the jersey makes it look like a different number. Either that or I just need new glasses.
I will say it is very nice to be able to see, for the most part, pretty clearly the numbers. That was really tough against Robinson in those jerseys.
Oh, yeah.
Especially once it got dark.
So 2nd and 7. Back in the I form is West Monroe. They hand the ball off, and TJ Logan got in the backfield and stopped that play from developing into an explosive one.
Yeah, if he's running free, he's usually going to make the stop.
He chased that one down all the way from the backside. He started on the far right and went all the way over to the left side to make that tackle. Good hustle play from TJ.
You're going to see here on the replay. This will be about 3rd and 5. 8 minutes remain in the first half. Gio going to hand the ball off to Ponte once again. And a Bruins are going to meet him there, and a 4th down's coming up for the Rebels.
And Brylan Ussery led that charge. Great job.
He made a couple really nice hits in the Robinson game and showed another one right there. Good job taking on a pulling guard, shedding him, and making that tackle, or at least being the first one there. A couple Bruins joined him.
So the punting unit will come out for the Rebels. I apologize, Blake.
No, another good, nice stop from the Bruin defense and making them punt. We'll take that.
Be a high kick. Punting unit is just going to try to down
Keep going.
And it's going to get the end zone for a touchback.
Sweet. We'll take it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just again, I mean, got to really credit the defense. That's one of the things we talked about. The scoreboard not have reflected it last week, but this has really been the strength of the team so far this year. Look, I mean, both sides, you look at compared to what West Monroe has and compared to what Robinson had, yeah, you might be a little bit undersized, but that's never really been a concern for PA. Just great techniques, and just, I mean, you've got to be really proud if you're Madison Taylor, defensive coordinator right now.
So after the touchback, the Bruins offense will take the field again. Last time out, Orville threw an interception that led to a 3-and-out of the Rebels offense. Still time in the first half to regain the lead. Orville going to have time, going to zip it. It's going to be caught, be forced out of bounds. It's number 7 on the catch. It's Mason Grayhouse.
Oh, reliable.
He really is. There's just quick out routes. They're nice and easy for the young quarterback.
Second down. Orville going to shovel it off. Has room, couple good blocks. Still on his feet, has a burst of speed up the sideline. And he'll get brought down just shy of the 50, and the water cooler flies off the table. It's number 6, Javion Walker on the catch and carry.
Well, he didn't have to truck any players, but he certainly trucked that cooler off the table.
Nobody's standing in front of him, not even the cooler.
Must be mad that somebody made him carry it when they got here. Orgo's going to roll out, throw it near the sideline. That's going to be caught by Gittins. And the Bruins are moving the ball down the field once again, fellas.
Yeah, and you can see the success is coming from a lot of these quick up to the line quick and getting the ball out quick is where the success is happening. Line up, Mason, come on.
Going to hand the ball off, up the middle, breaks away from one, tries to spin away. Javion Walker, the one-man highlight machine on the carry. First down, Bruins.
If he gets any kind of block, he's going to get right past it, and he's going to break a tackle, too. That's pretty much what you see almost consistently from Javion.
After the carry, be 1st and 10. Going to fake the handoff. Pump fakes, had pressure coming, able to get it off. That's going to be a catch and a nice little reception for number 1, Max on the catch. And there's going to be an injured Rebel on the field who'll be okay.
Yeah, I really like getting the ball to Max, the big guy out there in some open space on a screen just because he's really hard to bring down. And as you can see there, he kind of finishes the runs with some authority. But a lot of that was set up, though, by the play action to Javion. After a couple nice, hard, physical runs from Javion, you use that same exact motion. You pull a guard, you put it in Javion's belly for a second, and then you pull up and put it out wide, and a successful play.
I believe the injured Rebel got off the field under his own power, so we're going to resume action here. 6:21 left to go in the first half. If you're just joining us, you've missed an entertaining football game up to this point. Tristan Harlen here with Blake Amsler and Kyle Sutherland. The Bruins looking to get their first win of the season on the road against West Monroe. Orgel going to roll out right, going to throw it. It's going to be caught. Try to juke away, does. Still on his feet, breaks away, still going, and he gets pushed out of bounds. No, the ball came out. And West Monroe is going to get possession of the football. He's still on his feet. And a drive with all the promise in the world comes to the close just like that.
And guys, that one stings extra bad because Greathouse made a great – he could have just – an inexperienced receiver probably just would have caught it, stepped out of bounds. He cut back inside to get the first down, did a great job as far as the second effort to break those tackles, but just got the ball ripped out.
So a drive that had all the promise in the world to get 6 for the Bruins ends on a costly turnover, and now West Monroe has 3 turnovers caused tonight.
Well, we talked about all the points in the first matchup last year. What was ended up
67-47, yeah, over 100 points scored.
I don't think we're going to get to that, especially at this first half about to end, and we're only at 10-6.
Of course, Coach Lucas talking to him on the sideline, just trying to keep his head held high. You know, you love to see that from your head guy and one of your star receivers.
That is about as good of an effort as you could ask. And he's more, not that Mason can't break out of tackles and things like that, but he's kind of known more as a possession type guy. And it was a great effort, but just a great defensive play there by the Rebels once again.
Yeah, I liked the first juke, but then I think after that, Coach Lucas is probably telling him, hey, after that first juke, man, you got an extra 5 yards. Take it out of bounds. Save yourself the hit. Save your body the hit as well as don't lose the ball.
Of course, the Pulaski Academy defense forcing back-to-back 3-and-outs. They're going to hand it off. No, the quarterback's going to keep it himself. Up the middle, still with the burst of speed. He passes midfield. The 40, the 35-30, 25-20, 15, 10, 5. Oh, he loses the ball. That's going to be a touchback. That's going to be a touchback for the Bruins.
Wow.
Oh, come on, refs. Don't need to. You saw it. You don't need to talk to him.
Yeah, that one was clear as
yes.
day. Hey, and talking about just the effort from this team.
Who was that? Who was tracking him down?
We'll
I didn't
get that
see
replay,
it.
but that's right there, that last second effort.
Let's go. Huge play. My goodness.
That is what you show on film.
I think they're dapping up Bailey Lowe. They're really giving him some love. So I'm gonna first initial thought was Bailey. Here we go. Here it is. See at your top of your screen, chasing him down. What an effort play. My goodness. And clear as day.
Wow.
It's out, baby.
That is the prime definition that you show in film sessions of never giving up on a play.
Hey, if I'm a coach, I'm keeping that film for many a years from now. Wow.
And that could be something, not to get too far ahead here, but that could be something we really look back on.
Oh, yeah. You think about those 7 points here in about 2 quarters.
So 1st and 10 from the 20. We're going to hand it off. Room to run. And he's finally going to get tackled as he bounced away from a couple defenders. I believe that was Walker on the carry once again.
Fight, but hold on to that ball.
This will be about second, I want to say 7 here. Orgel going to roll out. Quick little screen back to Walker. Has some blocks up the field. Still on his feet. Cuts back. Green grass ahead. Spins away. Still going. And he gets tackled with enough room and enough yardage for another Pulaski Academy first down. And the Bruins, once again, back on the offensive effort, are driving down the field of West Monroe here at Don Shows Field.
Those tailback screens have really been setting themselves up. Rashawn had one close to breaking earlier, and there's a good one right there.
Orgel going to roll out again. Oh, and he tried to lead his receiver, but led him too far. That's going to be incomplete, intended for Bryce Gittens on the play. And a second down coming up here for the Bruins.
See Rashawn Mitchell coming in, and
Bailey Lowe also checks in, sophomore.
Orgel going to throw it, and he gets met immediately after the catch.
That was Hancock.
Chase Hancock on the reception brings up a third down for the Bruins.
Hunter Ardawan, another one of those receivers coming in for a sub here.
They're going to find a man up the sideline. Did he get enough for the first down? Yes, he did. Give him the chain gang and move him on down. First down for the Bruins.
And that goes back to what I was saying. There was a couple of those that Aaron has missed. Some of those easy throws that he just got a little bit over their head was right on the money with that one.
They're going fast. 1st and 10. Orgel going to hand the ball off, and he just trips up after breaking away from the initial tackle. Second down coming up here for the Bruins. Of course, William Sabota, the UCA baseball commit, near the 50, coaching his offense as he's out with a day-to-day injury. Trying to help his fellow teammate, sophomore quarterback Aaron Orgel, lead this team to victory here tonight. Orgel calls for the snap, drops back, throws it over the middle. Did he catch it?
Oh,
wow. He ripped it away.
Bailey Lowe.
Rip that,
wow.
Rip that right out of the hands of Kamani Kyles.
And he's down, too, I believe.
And that's the second time Orgel's had a pass thrown that the receiver rips away from the TV.
Yeah, we had one last week at Robinson. It was a very similar looking play. Oh, man. That could have been – that also was real close to an interception as well. So props to Bailey to pull that one away. You know, one thing I kind of noticed as we kind of kept faster pace there the last few plays was – we've had a lot more success with some of the straight-ahead running game with Javion, and I know we've tried to hit a couple of these outside zone plays, and the last one there to Rashawn didn't really get much out of it. So I really want us to focus on more of those straight-ahead run games, try to get those yards. Instead of trying to stretch the defense out wide, hit it really quick. And, I mean, you've seen Javion running so hard. I mean, running angry through the line to get some of those good pickups.
Of course, got to be careful, hopefully not catching a cramp with these players here tonight with the weather being 83 degrees. And, of course, it's always a little bit warm down in Louisiana, and it feels like 84. And, guys, I mean, contrary to popular belief, this is great football weather.
Oh, it is. It's definitely warmer than what I've been saying for a few weeks now that we've just been stealing days. And last week it was in the 70s, and that was one of the things that I've talked to a lot of coaches around the state. When it cooled off, you always talk about hydration and all those things during the summertime, but then once the weather dips down, you might not be as drinking near as much fluid as you should. So that's one of the big challenges that they've had. But like you said, it has warmed up significantly from last week.
3rd and 5. Orgel rolls out right, throws it quickly. Going to be caught, has enough for the first down. Give it to him, bring the chain gang on down and do a 1-2 boogie, because that's going to be enough for a first down. That's caught by number 12 on the offense, Hunter Alderwin. Defensive line shifting. Sends Mitchell out in motion. Orgel throws it deep, and that one's going to be dropped.
Ooh. Didn't get much on that. He wanted to go over top of that safety, but he was still, his momentum was all going left, and he didn't have enough arm strength to get it over the top of him. Got lucky on that one, though.
I believe that's the second interception that he has dropped tonight.
Oof.
So, second down coming up for the Bruins after the incomplete pass.
Greathouse and Hancock both check back in at those slot receiver spots.
A little bit of confusion on the defensive side. Orgel drops back, looks, has an open man. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Bruins!
I was about to say, I think Chase has got a nice one-on-one, but they went the other side. They saw Mason had a great one-on-one.
Perfect route.
Beautiful.
Great throw. And those kind of plays right there, and I might someone that just, you're just watching this like, oh, well, that's just an easy throw. Well, again, you're talking about a sophomore quarterback here that has missed a few, but that will instill a ton of confidence.
Of course, they're going to go for 2 here, and they're going to find an open wide receiver for the 2-point conversion. Max and Mason, the double M connection brings 6 and then 2 more. The Bruins in front, 14-10.
And those plays that we just got off the touchdown right there, where you got a safety one-on-one with your slot receiver, that is what this program has been built on. I've just been begging to have more of those plays the last couple of years. So I am so happy to see that. I love to see Aaron sitting back there, standing strong in the pocket with Rush coming at him, but knowing where the safeties are and knowing where his safe spot to throw it is, deep into the inside.
Of course, this is the first time the Bruins have led tonight after the great offensive drive from sophomore quarterback Aaron Orgel.
Hey, but we also, let's not forget, who was that touchdown really brought by?
You know exactly who.
Bailey Lowe. or not Bailey Low. I said Bailey Low. It's Hartford Low. You know, low guys, I don't even think you're related. But do you have to have numbers one away from each other? I mean, come on, guys.
I mean, that's just a textbook beautiful pass over the top. No one around to break that one up. I believe the defensive back actually fell as Greathouse ran his route. But regardless, the Bruins are in the lead. Here comes the onside kick. That one's going to be a little far.
Wow.
They can
rolled
get him.
in. It's live.
It's a live ball. Pulaski Academy's got to get him down, and they do. So the Rebels will take over deep in their own territories. We have 3:13 left to go in the first half, and the Bruins up 14-10 after the great touchdown as we saw last drive. So here comes the Rebels offense, who have on 3 straight drives have went 3 and out.
Well, if you can't onside kick it, if you're going to do something like that where it rolls down the sideline and rolls back inside, if you can do that every time, we'll take that.
Man, great bounce. Special teams, baby. I'll tell you what, if Frank Beamer just happens to be watching this, you know he's smiling.
If only we could get a kicker to do that every single time, that would be nice.
I'm not going to lie. I initially thought it was going to go out of bounds.
I did too. I thought it was going straight out of bounds, but it took a nice hop. We'll just say he meant to do it, you know. That was exactly what he draw out.
So 1st and 10 from the 11. Back in the I form is West Monroe. TJ Logan signaling for a blitz. Tries to get off the block, doesn't. Has a little bit of good blocks there, but it'll be stopped shy of the first down marker. So Pawnee on the carry.
What was interesting there was I felt like they had a lot of room against the defensive lineman, but like the H-back and the pulling guard both kind of just sat still in the hole and were almost taking up more room for the running back. Didn't have any space to get through. So I think we kind of got a cheap one there.
So 2nd down. And that one's going to be incomplete. A flag's going to come out. PI roofing penalty flag.
I think that's going to be a late hit on the quarterback. I hope I'm wrong.
I thought he hit him right as he was throwing the ball. Yeah, I guess it was.
Okay.
Oh, okay. He went up high.
So it'll be Drew Berkshire with the face mask penalty.
Which he did a great job coming through the line to get up in the quarterback's face just as he was throwing a hitch route too. Like he got there really fast, but I think the hand just snuck up too high.
Yeah. So it was wrong, but it just didn't turn out in their favor.
So we approach the 2.5-minute mark here in the first half. Do want to thank everybody for tuning in to PA Live and the National State Sports Networks, respectively. Tristan Harlen here with the former O-line coach, Blake Amsler, and Kyle Sutherland, who's not a former coach.
No.
Hand it off on a jet sweep type shovel, and he's just going to fall down.
I think he dropped the ball too, but he got right back on it.
It'll be number 3, Kavion Mitchell, the receiver who had the ball there. It brings up 2nd down for the Rebels.
And this one won't show up in the stat sheet, but TJ Logan did just enough there that the guy that was blocking him just to really take up enough space for the mishap there for West Monroe.
Coming up on 2 minutes here.
So 2nd down, facing the Rebels. Referee's going to blow it dead. There's going to be a timeout by Pulaski Academy.
Interesting. I thought the play clock was going down so low. I thought they were going to make Monroe take one.
Fans, just a few more minutes to get those raffle tickets. tickets from the West Monroe High School alumni and friends that support West Monroe High School academics. The drawing is coming up in the third quarter. Tickets for $1 each, and you can purchase 25 for $20 for $1,000 cash.
So after the timeout, it's going to be about 2nd and 12 for the Rebels offense.
Second down.
1:49 left to go in the first half. Gio's going to call for the snap. Going to hand it off. Breaks away, still on his feet. About 3 Bruins are going to meet him near the first down marker. Believe he's going to not have enough, so 3rd down coming up for the Rebels.
And Blake, like what you were talking about earlier about making sure that you watch for the deep shots, that's what you got, especially now that we're approaching the 1-minute mark. Got to make sure they don't lull you to sleep.
Yeah, clock is running under 1:20 here, so I would think they might pass, but since it's a 3rd and 2 like this, I kind of am leaning more towards run just to get that first down.
So 3rd and about 2. Gio sends a man in motion. Going to fake the pitch. Still has it, and he's going to be taken out by the legs, but he'll have enough for the first down. So the chain gain's going to move on down.
I think that was Camp Caldwell there with a nice low tackle. And now here, Kyle, this is where the shot comes. Just turned under a minute, 58 seconds. They just got a first down. Oh, got a flag.
Oh, wow. PI roofing penalty flag.
So I guess we're going to redo 3rd down.
We'll take that.
I did not see the
I
yellow marker.
completely missed it myself.
I don't know why we can't see them. I guess maybe the foggy windows clogging our view up a little bit. So it brings up a longer 3rd down, 3rd and 7 here. And, they rolled the clock, too.
Yeah, I was just about to say the clock's still rolling.
I guess we'll take that. That's interesting. After a penalty?
Is that Louisiana rules, I guess?
That may be something different. Yeah, I don't think that's normal.
So 3rd and long with the clock still rolling. Gio's going to drop back, look, going to throw it, and that's going to be caught. Be taken out once again by the leg, and that's going to be enough for the first down. So move the chains on down, Mr. Chainman.
And the clock's still running even on the first down. Boy, that's
somebody's
not
on their phone up there. Checking Twitter.
Or maybe a PA dad volunteered to run the clock up there. I don't know. Wow. There goes the whole clock. I mean, they're not going to get another play barely.
And PA's going into their prevent defense as expected.
And they're just going to hand it off.
Claps it down.
And he's still going to have room to run. And he's going to be forced. Oh, he gets hit pretty hard. But that's going to end the first half. And for the moment, we're going to say the first half's over, but we're going to hold just for a second, see if they put more time on the clock, but I don't believe they are. So the Bruins are going to head to the locker room with the lead as they lead the Rebels 14-10. We're going to take a halftime break. We'll be right back after this. You're watching PA Football on PA Live on the Natural State Sports Network.
As a family, the community's given a lot to us, so it's our opportunity to give back. And one way I do that is by coaching these boys. I love watching them learn. I love sitting in the huddle with them and watching them go out and do what it is that we've been working on. The boys have to learn how to work as a group and work as a team to win the game. It's the same thing at the dealership. It takes everybody every day to service the community.
It's better at Bale!
Arkansas. At Bale Chevy, we heard you loud and clear. You asked for it, and now it's back. Drive new every 2. That's right, only at Bale can you drive a brand new Chevy every 2 years. Just pick one out, drive it for 2 years, then trade it in for a new model or walk away owing nothing. Drive new every 2. Just another reason it's better at Bale. Come see us today or shop BaleChevrolet.com.
gentlemen, welcome to halftime at Rebel Stadium. Tonight's halftime is sponsored by Central Electric of West Monroe and Ryan Auto Group. West Monroe High School proudly presents the best sounding band in the land, the West Monroe High School Marching Rebel Band. Drum majors for the Rebel Band, Josie Chase, Hayden Hopko, and Halen McDaniel. Percussion captains, Matthew Nolan and Dustin Sherwood. Color guard captain, Amber Bilberry. Tonight, the Rebel Band will perform the first two movements of its 2025 competitive show, Underground. Soloist, Sarah Blank, Stephen Sherlock, Chloe Jesselink, and Andrew Kendrick. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rebel Band. tradition established in 1968, West Monroe High School proudly presents the Rebel Raiders. The award-winning team is under the field direction of Captain Kendall Bennett and Lieutenants Brooklyn King, Esther Goldie, Ireland Creech, and Ava Leote. Choreographer for the team is Mackenzie Salter, and director is Melissa Shepard. This week's Raiders of the Week are Esther Goldie and Hattie Hamilton. Tonight, the Raiders perform to Bad Guy. Welcome to the field, our future Rebel Raiders.
Welcome back to the Ackles halftime show. Your Pulaski Academy Bruins leading 14-10. And guys, the Bruins are leading.
They are. Yeah, they absolutely. And right now, you know, you cannot give enough credit to what this defense has done. The offense has turned it over 3 times, but still has done some really good things, as we see. 14-10 score, but Hartford Lowe, what a play. The play of the game, certainly by far, the way that he was able to knock that out right before West Monroe scored and got the touchback to give the ball back to the Bruins to eventually take the lead. So defense has really been the story here, but you're really starting to see the offense get some rhythm.
Yeah, you see that we were talking about the hustle play there, but don't forget he also had a pick earlier in that too. So just a really impactful first half for him. As we see one of the connections from, and this was his brother. I think that was no. That was that Bailey. Yeah,
that was Bailey Lowe. Yep,
a great touchdown there. But I mean, guys. For the first time in a long time, the Bruins leading at halftime, coming into the second half with some momentum. We were talking to some of the parents during halftime, and great support system that we have down in the stands. Of course, everybody watching at home and on the field. The Bruins are putting on a great product, and hey, I'm excited for some Bruins second half football.
Yeah, exactly. And this is kind of what we went to when we were talking about before the game started was that little extra intensity after a loss. I think it's just built into this program, and I've seen it time and time again, regardless of how close or how emotional a loss was. That next Friday, everybody is way more intense, way more focused to the job at hand.
And that was one of the things that Coach Lucas reiterated multiple times to Tristan and I on the coaches show was that they expect to look a lot better. And look, as we said, we made their mistakes. Look, it's game 2. You're still going to make your mistakes, but they've been able to overcome those. And again, back to that play from Hartford Lowe, just talking about no matter what has been thrown at them, they do not stop until they hear a whistle. And that was a big reason why they were able to make that play and then eventually get the ball back and score that touchdown to take the lead.
Of course, we've talked about the defense, but what a day the sophomores having at quarterback. Aaron Orwell, he's come in, filled the starting role with William Sabata being a day-to-day injury. He's filled it quite well tonight.
Yeah, I think you're really just starting to see him get more comfortable. You saw some pretty easy overthrows there, at least easy, once you get comfortable in this system, but starting to connect on those a little bit more. And Blake's talked about the way that Javion Walker's been able to get in space, break a few tackles, so it's really just kind of all starting to come together. And
I think that it feels like a scrappy first half, low scoring obviously, but just kind of PA just kept fighting and just barely keeping up to where we got the lead. And obviously we had the lead, but we could have been down, honestly, going into that half. So what I wanted to make a point of is that Aaron is still going to have to make some really big throws coming up in the second half. We're not going to be able to win the game by just hitting those short out routes and stuff like that. He's still going to have to make some of those downfield throws like he hit Mason early on for the touchdown. He's going to have to hit some of those big ones. And Javion or Rashawn or Chase or one of these people is going to have to break a couple big ones to make it easier. Instead of having to build a 15-play drive, multiple of those, we're going to have to find some explosive plays somewhere.
And we still haven't seen a ton of Bryce Gittins. You've seen him make a couple of plays tonight. He was obviously a huge factor offensively in the Robinson game, or I say huge. He was one of the main factors for the Bruins offensively. So that's one that you haven't gotten involved a ton either. We'll see if they pick that up with him in the second.
Well, you guys kind of already answered my next question as we have a minute left to go in halftime. Was going to be, what do you guys expect from the Bruins in the second half? But I think you both kind of answered that very well.
Yeah, I think from the offensive perspective, I think I'm going to probably imagine some simple, easy stuff, some of those jet sweeps that we were seeing earlier just to kind of, again, get our feet underneath us as we get started. But as soon as some of those things start hitting and we get on one of those momentum rolls, I think then you hit a double move behind and try to create an explosive play.
Of course, there's a lot of games going on around the country. Back at home in Arkansas, there's a lot of scores going on that a lot of people are going to be raising some eyebrows over if they hold.
Yeah, I saw a couple. I know that Lakeside and Robinson, that's a massive fight. That's certainly two of the top 5A contenders there. Last I saw, I think it was 10-6. Robinson, another low score, 14-6. A very low-scoring game. I saw that Marion was losing to Conway 6-0. Again, this is just what I had seen earlier. I don't know if these are still accurate, but to that point, a lot of low-scoring games from some very quality teams.
But shout out to the our sister station over there, Sylvan Hills.
Yeah.
Mercy Rule in Russellville.
So they're going to be
coming up at
3-0 for the first time in about a decade. So, man, Mark Kelly doing exactly what they need to do. Of course, they came into the season on a 20-game losing streak, guys, dating back to 2023, back-to-back 0-10 seasons. And look, Mark Kelly, I've said it for years. I think he's the best offensive mind in the state, but he's also a pretty dang good head coach. Won a state championship at Searcy, and now is doing a great job with the Bears.
Of course, the team that Pulaski Academy opens up conference play against, North Little Rock, at halftime, they're down against Benton 24-7.
Yeah, Coach Brad Bolding in his second stint with North Little Rock, he knew that it was going to be an uphill climb to get that program back. They went 0-10 last year, and so it's going to take some time. He's got a lot of good young talent coming up, but they're really just trying to get things rolling over there. So that's a team, guys, that I will say, it's still 2 weeks away before they play North Little Rock, but that's a team that you want to get early because just like PA with a lot of these youngsters and these new faces, they're going to get better as the season goes along, as will North Little Rock. So that is a team that you're glad to open up conference play with and get them fairly early.
Of course, Ruston traveled up to Cabot, and they're ahead by commanding margin last time we checked, so good for another Louisiana school to go on the road to beat a school I'm familiar with.
We actually saw their bus heading up. We passed them in Camden.
Yeah, Ruston, Louisiana was rolling deep. They were like 10 buses deep coming up to Cabot.
So the second half has begun. Of course, an onside kick that they're just going to fall on, and West Monroe will start the second half with the football. They open up their first offensive drive down 4 as the Bruins ended the first half with a lot of momentum, but I'm sure that the Rebels are going to try to regain it here. Of course, remind you, Brady Gio, the quarterback for the Rebels offense, and of course, 2 Tulane commits on the offense, one on the offensive line, one for the receiver, and of course, the running back Christian Ponte has a D1 offer from ULM. And there's a PI roofing penalty flag on Pulaski Academy, and they're going to re-kick.
Hey, we'll take that.
I'm not seeing no yellow marker, so I'm not knowing when there's a penalty. I will be better.
I'm not sure if they had the option or not, but I'm really surprised they chose for a re-kick rather than just taking that ball or even taking the 5-yard penalty on that return.
And Blake, you talked about it. We had somebody in the restaurant shout out Burger Grind, a really good meal that we had.
Absolutely.
Somebody that was the first thing that a West Monroe fan talked about was the onside kick. So I know that's been on the minds of people in this town all week.
Now the second half will begin. The onside kick will be fielded by West Monroe. So now here comes the offense of the Rebels. They ended the first half without the momentum, and they look to regain it with this drive here.
I gave my 2 cents about offense of what we would do the second half. I think for defensive-wise, it's all about consistency. You've kind of set that baseline of what we can do. Keep that consistency. Keep consistently tackling low and trying, second guy in, try to strip the ball, maybe make a big play, but consistently keep the ball in front of you.
Gio's going to call for the snap. They're going to hand it off. Continuing the second half, much like the first half. And the Bruins defense are going to meet him halfway. Second down coming up for the Rebels.
Yeah, Bryland on the bottom of that pile along with B.J. Mitchell as well.
5-yard gain. Second down, 5 yards to go, Rebels.
Be 2nd and 5 after the carry. Looks like West Monroe will be going back to that I formation. JK, the audible out. Gio going to hand the ball off. Bursts his speed up the middle. Tries to truck away from one defender, but he'll get brought down. And they're going to say he got enough for the first down. So first down for the Rebels as they're charging into Bruin territory.
Back-to-back plays with the West Monroe offensive line. Just got a really good push.
Eventually brought down there by Camp Caldwell, but like you said, still picked up the first down. Keep the sticks moving.
First and 10 Rebels from the 33.
Gio going to call for the snap. Fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and he'll be brought by at least 3 Bruins to the ground. That was number 5 on the stop. It's Abernathy on the tackle.
And one kind of unsung hero I got my eye on out there is Andrew Sidarius, kind of a senior defensive lineman getting in there. May not make a bunch of plays, but he's in there taking up the double teams, getting smacked in the face down there, and just leaving some open holes for those linebackers to run through.
So after the short gain, it's about 2nd and 9. Gio in the gun. Calls for snap. He's going to drop back. Somebody coming over the edge, and he'll just dump it off. Incomplete. 3rd down coming up for the Rebels. And that was number 10, the one that got that back in the backfield, and he caused the disruption.
Is that Austin Childers, I believe, in the backfield? Another sophomore for this defense.
They're all over the place, man. That was one thing after the Robinson game. You know, we called the game, but then when I went home back and kind of watched it, I was actually talking to Coach Taylor on the phone, and I was like, I didn't realize how many freaking sophomores you had out there and a freshman to put on that as well. Like, it is a very young defense, and they're playing really well right now.
And the freshman's one of the biggest one out there.
3rd and 9 after the incompletion. Gio's going to drop back, get smoked, and it's going to go out of bounds. Incomplete. 4th down coming up for the Rebels.
Great pressure once again from the Bruins, and yet another sophomore, Max Burns, number 32.
Looks like the special teams unit will come on to the field for the Rebels. Looks like they're just going to punt this ball away.
This is kind of a red flag area for me here.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, do you really want to punt from the 32-yard line? Or, you know, my spidey senses are going off right here.
It's going to be a high punt. It's going to drop down at about the 10, and it'll roll into the end zone. Touchback. So the Bruins will take over on their own 20, and here comes Aaron Orgel leading his team back out onto the field as he regained the lead just before halftime began.
The old net 12-yard punt there. Always a nice one.
Orgel will start the second half in the gun. Low snap. He'll drop back. Throws it. It's going to be caught on the screen by, I believe, Walker. Walker's going to get a block. Burst his speed, and he's going to make it to about the 45-yard line before he's brought down from behind. Kind of limping after he got up there, but it'll be a 1st and 10 coming up for the Bruins.
Blake, you referenced Pierce Phelan earlier, the right tackle, and what a great block that he laid there to get JB on a few extra yards.
After the big play, 1st and 10 from about the 48. Flag's going to be thrown onto the field. We're going to wait to see what the white hat says on this PI roofing penalty flag. Snap infraction by the Bruins, so they'll back that one up.
Yeah, that's just kind of a little momentum killer right there after the big play. You're ready, come on up to the line quick, about to hand the ball off to Javion again, and instant penalty, -5.
So they'll be at about the 42 now after the penalty. Orgel, the lone man in the backfield. He's going to drop back. Pressure coming. Throws it over the middle. That one's almost going to be a big-time play, but it'll fall to the turf. Incomplete. Intended for number 7, Mason Greathouse, who has a touchdown to his name tonight.
You saw the pressure coming. Good patience there in the pocket, but just a little bit too far out of reach.
A really similar play to what we did score on earlier. And I like the aggressiveness to put it out there and make the defense think.
2nd down. Orgel, all the time in the world. He throws a deep ball, and it's just another incomplete pass. I believe the receiver just lost it in the lights, so a 3rd down coming up for the Bruins.
You're right, Tristan. I think Chase might have had you to look up a little bit. I think the lights were shining right there in his eyes.
So 3rd and 15 faces the Bruins here. Orgel going to fake the handoff, and he gets smoked, but it's going to have a receiver that's going to get caught but not enough for the first for the moment.
4th and short, across the 50. I don't think there's any question what Coach Lucas is going to do here.
Nope.
12-yard gain. 4th down, 3 yards to go. Pulaski.
12-yard gain, 4th and about 3. Walker goes in motion. Orgel rolls out, throws it, finds Walker. We're going to see where they're going to spot the ball. I believe he got enough for the first down, and he did. So chain game, move on down. The Bruins have a fresh new set of downs.
That was close. I thought they could have called Javion for a forward motion there. His outward motion got a little bit leaning forward, but they don't call it. We'll take the first down.
Orgel's going to drop back. Throws it. That one's going to get caught, and he breaks away at the 20, the 15, and he'll get brought down just shy of the 10-yard line. The Bruins are in the Caldwell Toyota red zone after that one.
Great tough play by the sophomore Chase Hancock there. Looks like we got a Rebel down. I think that is Quentin Carter.
So while we take a break, the official timeout there, we want to congratulate our Student Athlete of the Week. Congrats to Aksha Chevaretti, the Bowen Heffley Orthopedics Pulaski Academy Student Athlete of the Week. Akshara is a strong member of our senior class as well as our Bruin tennis team. Akshara and her doubles partner took down the opponents from Lakeside last week and hope to add more wins on their way to a strong season. Off the court, she's also a top student, including representing PA at the International Science Fair, where she explained her research to a Nobel laureate.
Well, congratulations.
The tennis teams at PA are one of the unsung championship
I was just
heroes.
thinking that. Yeah, was it tennis or golf? I think it was golf that recently had a Razorback signee within the last year or two. Tennis has had a lot of success, and
yeah, you're probably thinking of Jake Jacoby. I think he was a tennis
Okay.
player and went to the Hogs, and I think he's now coaching at Ole Miss or Mississippi State, maybe. But yeah, shout out Bill Toppich, longtime tennis coach, and has won. I think he's lost count of how many state championships he has in tennis at this point.
Talk about state champions. The Bruins are in the red zone, and they get dropped down all the way back to the 25-yard line. I believe they're saying the ball may have came out.
The ball did come out late, but I think what the ref is saying is that the forward momentum from Javion stopped him. He kept getting pushed back 3-4 yards, so I think he did make the right call of calling it. Because see where they spot this ball way up front. So the ball did come out at the end, but it was way after the whistle had blown.
Second down and 17.
So it'll be 2nd and 17 now. We're going to check to the sideline.
No safety over the middle of the field. Manned up.
Orgel, time to throw, pressure coming, throws it off his back foot, and that one's just going to fall to the turf. Incomplete. He had time for the moment, and then the pocket swallowed him up.
I think he was looking for Greathouse. Greathouse was running kind of like a skinny post there into the middle of the end zone, but the pressure got to him.
So that brings up a 3rd down for the Bruins.
And Jacob Davis with the pressure on the quarterback. 3rd down.
In the student section behind the end zone's on their feet for the Rebels. Orgel, the lone man in the backfield. He's going to roll out. Look. Pump fake. Throws it. And that one's going to be incomplete. He had his guy for the moment, but it just could not be reeled in. Here comes the special teams unit for the Bruins.
Yeah, Chase would have caught. I don't know if he would have had a whole lot of room to work there.
Yeah, he was still definitely going to be short. He would have had to make a lot of guys miss.
And PA is just going to go with the points, hopefully to go up by a touchdown and an extra point.
Timeout's going to be called by West Monroe before the field goal attempt. So got a little bit of break in the action. And guys, what do you think? What are you seeing from the Bruins?
a little bit of the same from the first half as far as the offense is moving the ball down the field, but right here you still got a chance at points. So that's one of the positives. You had a lot of turnovers that you overcame in the first half, but you get up by a touchdown here just to keep that momentum rolling is going to be key because the defense has played so well.
So after the timeout, the field goal unit will trot back onto the field for the Bruins. In most cases, this is a chip shot. For the Bruins, it could be 3 points. The hold, the kick, it's up, and it's no good.
Just short.
Oh, penalty.
There's a PI roofing penalty flag. Hold on a minute.
It's going to be
come on,
roughing the kicker. Yep.
So that's only a 5-yard penalty, so it won't be an automatic first. But we can take another shot at it. Because it looked like it was just short.
Yeah,
it was
short.
on line, I feel like. It was just short. So maybe that 5 yards could be crucial here. But also, Coach Lucas is thinking twice.
Is that a rebel down on the field?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I see a blue jersey, so it's.
Yeah.
While we're waiting on that, we'll tell you about our Caldwell Toyota Core Value Student of the Week. That is Sutton Winner. Congratulations to the Caldwell Toyota Pulaski Academy Core Value Student of the Week, Sutton Winner. A member of the junior class, Sutton challenges herself by taking several AP classes in addition to being a member of the Lady Bruins soccer team. Her chemistry teacher, Miss Hampson, describes Sutton as dedicated, noting that she is constantly striving to understand and get better. Furthermore, Mrs. Hampson highlights how Sutton is well respected by her peers for her kindness and constructive attitude in class. Congratulations, Sutton, for demonstrating all the values we hold dear.
I worked a couple of soccer games last season. Sutton's a stud. I can tell you that right now.
Another really good program, the soccer. I remember even back during when we were in high school, PA had a great soccer team, so that's another one of the many great athletic teams there.
So round 2.
To go up by a touchdown. The snap, the kick is up, and the kick is GOOD good.
Another break there that the Bruins capitalize on. Back to the great defensive play that the Hartford Load knocked the ball out, got the touchback, and then like right there, you had a running into the kicker play that moves you up just a few more yards. That first attempt was just a little bit short, and now you're up by a touchdown.
Well, you wanted points to start the second half for your offense, and you got just that.
And I feel just about as confident as ever with the defense coming on the field. Just can't say enough about their performance thus far.
Yeah, defense has played really well both in the Robinson game and tonight. Wouldn't mind a little special teams action here. Create some drama here. That would be nice. Get a nice hop. Give us a shot. So Gervin here, number 73, setting up by himself. We usually have seen Landon O'Donnell out there with him, but I don't see Landon out this time, so this may be solely for Gervin. May try one of those squibbers again that he hit last time.
Here comes the kick. It's a deep one. Going to be returnable at about the 15. And he gets hit pretty hard.
Man, that was just that was about how you coach it right there. They ran their lanes. They closed in perfectly. You saw it, really. They just all merged in at the same time. You couldn't have coached that much better.
So here comes the Rebel offense once again. Down 7. I'm sure they're getting a quick little pep talk in the huddle before they take the field.
I'm sure Coach Taylor's up there, again, talking to his people down on the ground. But, again, like I was saying, keep the consistency, keep the good tackling, but also that second, third person that comes around, maybe throw a little punch into that ball, try to create something big.
We've already seen something big with the ball being punched out earlier tonight. Sure, they like to do some of the same here. They hand it off, that time to the fullback. Not going to go anywhere as he's met by a family of Bruins defenders. Say Pawnee was the ball carrier there, but when you line up right there in that formation, you're the fullback.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you get in a three-point stance, especially in today's football, you're a fullback. Or as they called it at Harding, the B-back.
Well, I wish the fullback position would be back. So second down after the carry. Hand the ball off once again.
Nice job.
Met by a group of defenders. First one was number 28, Brylan Urshery, the junior, in the Jaguar position on the tackle.
That's another one who's been really good tonight.
Yep, and I know Coach Taylor's happy with that consistency there because he isn't blocked. He's on the left side of the line. He's not blocked, but he closes everything down, takes on his block, and makes the play. That's a really textbook technical play there from Brylan.
3rd and 6. Timeout going to be called. A hydration timeout.
Hey, there you go.
You know, guys, West Monroe, they're not in any kind of hurry. Just trying to run up the middle. I'm fine with, hey, milk that clock a little bit. I'm fine with that.
Gonna make sure the clock did stop there. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Hey, you know how it is sometimes around here.
Down here in Louisiana.
That was another thing that stood out to me. Didn't they have 3 timeouts? I think at least 2. I thought they had 3 at that last drive, but they were in absolutely no hurry, and no one was complaining about the clock rolling or no urgency at all. I really thought they were going to try to take some shots.
That's almost what I'm wondering. We've talked a few times tonight about trying to lull the defense to sleep a little bit, and I know you touched on, especially in the first quarter, just talking about whether they were going to take that deep shot. Maybe that's what they're trying to do right here, just run up the middle a few different times, see what that gives them, and then trying to take something downfield.
Well, I'm not an analyst like you two gentlemen are, but I imagine they're waiting to see if the Bruins are going to bite on some play action.
Yeah, and we've committed quite a few guys to the running game, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it.
3rd down.
Backed off a little here.
Quarterback's going to drop back, pressure coming, throws it. Did he get broken up or did he catch it? I'm going to say he caught it, but where are they going to spot him? They're going to spot him over the line for a first down.
First down, Rebels.
Wish we had a couple really, ESPN quality replays right there because I feel like the kid just kind of sat on the ball a little bit as it was getting fallen on, and I really don't know if he caught that well.
So after the play, it's 1st and 10 for the Rebels. Gio going to call for the snap, hand it off. Going to be met by a host of Bruins there, brought down, only gaining a handful there.
And sophomore Max Burns was the first one there to slow him down and had some help to clean it up.
Yeah, I love the follow-up tackles like you just said, but TJ Logan and BJ Mitchell both coming right behind him and cleaning everything up. Good team defense.
Second down here for the Rebels. Going to pitch it here, and he's going to be brought down before an explosive play occurs. The PA defense has strapped in their seatbelts because they are locked in.
And guess what? Another sophomore, Andrew Manning, I mean, that whole linebacking crew outside of T.J. Logan is just full of sophomores.
I think, is T.J. the only senior on the defense? He's maybe one or two.
Maybe so.
Love that for the future. I mean, it'll be a big loss next year, but
yeah,
that's a long ways away.
A lot of kids getting a lot of reps here. So 3rd and about 7 here. So keep an eye on the safeties here. You see Sam Hurtado on this close safety sneaking down a little bit.
3:50 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Gio going to call for the snap. He's going to try to roll out, throwing a screen, and he's going to be met before he's going to go anywhere. And that's going to bring up a 4th down for the Rebels offense. And the Viper position gets the stop.
Yeah, Sam Hurtado, just read it right there, and you knew he was going to come up and lay the smack. He read that perfectly.
Yeah, really smart play there. His man that he was going to cover actually motioned across the other side, which freed him up. So he really didn't have much responsibility other than to check stuff like that, a little screen pass, and did an amazing job coming up, wrapping up that tackle.
Do have to be careful, though. A little bit of a suplex play.
Yeah, they've gotten some huge bounces, haven't they?
Yeah.
On those punts.
Punt's going to roll inside the 10, so the PA offense will take over deep in their own territory again. And Kyle, I do have a bone to pick with you. You didn't finish the saying. It's lay the smack down.
I know. Yeah, no, that was a great tackle. He just, I mean, just the way that he came up and, I just can't say enough. I mean, I know I sound like a broken record, but I love defense. We all love defense. It's a very underrated part. In today's game, you love to see the high-flying pass plays, which those are great and everything, but great defense, that's my kind of game.
So after the great bounce for the punt, it'll be 1st and 10 inside the 10. Whole bunch of people are in motion. Orgo's going to hand the ball off to Walker. Walker's not going to really be able to go anywhere that time.
Again, one of those outside zone plays, trying to stretch the edge, and I don't know, man. I don't see those hitting right now. I'd really like to run straight into the teeth of this defense and try to hit it quick.
To be 2nd down coming up for the Bruins offense. They're up 7. Orgo's going to throw it in a great play. Too bad he couldn't get up and run, or that would have been a touchdown.
Yeah, I think that was Hunter Ardoin that caught it. But, boy, yeah, you're right. If the ball was a little bit more in front of him, he could have stayed up. Here's a little replay of it. If he would have led him to the left a little bit too far.
Orgo's just going to get rid of that one.
Oh, he took a shot. Oh, man.
He's getting up.
Yeah, I think he'll be
okay,
all right.
Good deal.
Yeah, you're right. That was number.
It looks like he is holding his throwing arm, though.
They stopped the game, so he is going to have to come out for one play at least, but he's walking off.
I guess the next one up would be Wynn Wilson, number 11.
That's who just walked in.
Yeah, with Sabota being out.
And I know we saw a little. I mean, I think this is probably a desperation situation, but we saw some of those direct snaps to Javion. I mean, maybe is that your 4th option after Wynn?
2nd and 10.
And it does look like. Oh, well, who's that? Hancock?
That is Hancock.
Chase.
Yeah. Coach Lucas had talked about that they're going to use him in some quarterback packages.
So 2nd down here. Hancock trying to get him to jump. Oh. Quick little zip. Up the sideline. Burst of speed. One man to beat. A PI roofing penalty flag comes out as they get to the sideline.
Dang it. I don't think many people had money on Chase turning and throwing it out there first play. So that caught the defense off guard.
Orgel's warming up right in front of us on the sideline with the athletic trainer. He's trying to get that arm loose again. Hopefully he'll be able to come back in for tonight's game.
And maybe just a stinger he's got to work out.
So after the penalty, it'll be 2nd down and a 2nd and long more than likely. We're going to see exactly where they spot it. They're having a conversation now.
It appears Hancock's going to come back. It looks like Wynn Wilson is going to line up at receiver, and Hancock will be back at quarterback.
So second.
Golly, they're backing them way up, aren't they?
18 from the 9-yard line.
I thought that holding was downfield on one of the receivers.
Second and 18 from their own 7. Hancock still in at quarterback. Looks like he's going to run a quarterback keeper around the outside. PI roofing penalty flag going to come in from the back judge.
The Hankies are a flying.
Looks like Orgel's trying to come back into the game. We'll see what the penalty marker is.
Holding. Offense number 62. Back to this to the glide. Hold. Replay. Second down.
Yep, so Aaron is going to come in.
Good to see that.
Yeah. But he's coming into a pretty precarious position here. Second and really long on your own 5-yard line.
Second and 21 to be exact, with 2:01 left in the third quarter of play. Orgel, the lone man in the backfield. He's going to send Walker in motion. Looks like they're going to check to the sideline. Orgel going to throw it over the middle, just overthrows Walker, incomplete.
Yeah. Figured we'd probably, you've seen that a few, especially in long situations. Not necessarily tonight, but I noticed it a couple times at the Robinson game where you just kind of see Javion streaking down the field, really just trying to get some of that yardage back now into a really long third down.
The band is playing right beside us. Walker was the man in motion. Orgel standing in the pocket. He's got to get rid of it. And he throws a heave, and that's going to be an interception. And the Rebels will take over after the interception thrown by Orgel, his third interception of the day.
Yeah, just trying to stay. Oh, looks like we got a PI roofing penalty flag. I think we know what that's going to be. Usually when it's thrown in those types of situations, it'll be some sort of unsportsmanlike. Or actually, it's a sideline warning. Okay. I'm pretty good at calling penalties. I hadn't been so hot on it tonight.
Well, we could barely see the flags half the time.
The way that it was thrown, it was just kind of in the middle of, so normally when they throw that up in the air like that, somebody says something or whatever the case may be. So that was my automatic assumption. But
I noticed Aaron kind of grabbing at that same forearm area as he was earlier as he came off. He did take a hit as he was throwing that last ball. So, again, we got to kind of keep an eye on that.
Yeah, it's going to be sore. There's no question.
So West Monroe with a little bit of momentum. They're going to hand it off, room to run. Tries to break away, does. Jukes back, room to run. He's going to get tackled at the 10-yard line. And the Rebels are in the Caldwell Toyota red zone, knocking on the door to knock this thing up at 17.
Yeah, good stop there by TJ Logan, but obviously a really big gain. And defense has been put in some tough situations tonight. We'll see if they can get out of this one.
First and 10 Rebels from the 11-yard line.
So first and 10 from the 11. Send a man in motion. Going to fake the handoff. Quarterback's going to keep it himself. And he gets tackled right at the goal line. And the Rebels are right at the doorstep for a touchdown. that will knot this thing up.
And you got to think from a realistic standpoint, fatigue is probably starting to set in for this PA defense with the fourth quarter right around the corner.
Late substitution coming in for West Monroe. Looks like they're going to go back to the eye. 26 seconds remain in the third. They're going to give it. No, he's going to. No, he handed it off. I thought the quarterback kept it.
I fooled everybody except for TJ Logan. And who was that? Is that also Burns? I think it was Max Burns along with him.
Gain of a yard.
And that's probably going to be the last play of the quarter.
1 yard to go.
Yeah.
Well, the buzzer will sound and the third quarter will conclude. The Rebels are knocking at the door of the end zone as they're trying to knot it up. The Bruins lead it 17-10. And guys, it's coming down to the nitty-gritty. Kyle, I got to ask, how did we get here?
Well, we had some turnovers, had some overall great defensive play as we've talked about. See the play here where Javion gets it in for the first score for the Bruins. Then right here, great stop there by TJ Logan, one of the many great defensive plays that we have seen from the Bruins. Right here, the defensive play of the night, Hartford Lowe knocking it out, causing the touchback. PA ended up scoring on that next offensive drive. And here's Orgel right here to Mason Greathouse, a great route, great catch. And, of course, had to celebrate with his teammate there. And there's the stick that we saw there by number 4, Sam Hurtado. And then cleaning it up was Gage Stalkup. And now we'll see if they can get a goal line, or not necessarily a goal line stand, but an inside the 5-yard line stand.
Well, Blake, I got to ask you while we have a little bit of time, what are the differences that you've seen in this defense tonight versus week 0 against Robinson?
Well, I think I mentioned it earlier, but I think the tackling has got better overall. Outside of this last drive, that last kind of breakout run by the quarterback, they had a couple missed tackles, but overall, we've tackled better, we've tackled lower than the Robinson game.
Well, PA calls a timeout, and now we have a little bit more time to talk.
Yeah, that was an interesting one right out of the quarter break. I don't know if they saw something or what.
Well, I saw Coach Jamal Jones and Coach Lucas run down to the sideline signaling timeout.
Okay,
So
I wonder if we didn't get the right people in or something. I don't know. But still, coming out of the third quarter break, you'd rather not waste the timeout.
Third and goal after the timeout. The Rebels trying to start the final quarter of tonight's game with all the momentum in the world. What will Coach Lucas and his defense do? Find out when they take the field. We're not going to go anywhere, so don't change the number on your television set or on your YouTube set, whatever you prefer.
What do you know about changing TV sets, Tristan? You're too young for that.
Listen, I like to listen to old radio calls, and I heard that.
You grew up with remote control, you know. We used to have to get up there and twist it.
Actually, for your information, my Nana had a tuner.
Love that.
My grandparents did too.
Love that.
And it's also because we lost the remote 95% of the time. But that's neither here nor there. Hand it off, and he's just going to walk in. Touchdown, Rebels. And they're 1 point away from tying this thing up, and a PI roofing penalty flag is coming in.
And the biggest thing here, just got to make sure on both sides you keep your composure. Let's get the call from the white hat. So I guess in Louisiana they mentioned the numbers.
I know. I've noticed that all night. They've said the kid's number.
So here comes the PAT from the Rebels. This is good. We'll be tied at 17. The snap, the hold, the kick is good. So after the touchdown, the Rebels knocked this thing up at 17, but we have a whole fourth quarter to play, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere because this game has officially gotten interesting.
Yeah, it's still plenty of time, obviously. I mean, it's just a tie game at the very beginning of just 4 seconds into the fourth quarter here. But, just another grand opportunity here for the PA offense to do something. And guys, to think about the amount of turnovers that have happened tonight, I mean, just to be in this position, you really got to be thankful that you're still it's basically a 0-0 ball game with 1 quarter left.
Yeah, you're right. The turnover differential is a huge indicator of who wins and loses a game. And right now, PA is behind on those. But again, a credit to the defense, credit to the stops that they've continued to make. We're still in this game. I was trying to scan and see if Aaron and Chase are both walking together down there next to Coach Thrash. I don't really have an indication yet of who's going to come out and take the reins.
Well, surely it's got to be Ordrell.
I guess it just the way that
his arm seems to definitely be bothering him.
Yeah, he didn't look too confident as he was walking down the sidelines. The only thing I'm thinking.
Of course, after the penalty flag, the kickoff will be way past 50. That was just going to fly.
Just boat it.
Fly into the back of the end zone, short of the upright.
I'm about to say, almost kicked a field goal on that one. But how crazy is it? We touched on it a little earlier and a few times throughout the game, but we've got 34 combined points right now. That's compared to the 114, I think, combined last year.
Definitely a different game.
Yeah.
And Orgel's going to trot back out to the field with his offense. Of course, he's
good to see.
Had a few interceptions, but overall, for a first career start for the young quarterback, he's not had a bad game. Thrown 1 touchdown. He's led the Bruins to the 17-17 tie. Now he takes over from their own 20. Trying to get the Bruins their first win of the 2025 campaign. They're going to hand it off, and that one's going to get swallowed up in the backfield. Nowhere to go, and the Rebels are going to celebrate that one.
And the Rebels are obviously real fired up, as they should be, and that's back to talking about with, kind of the state of the condition of Orgel's arm right now to see how much they keep it on the ground.
Second and about 14 after the loss of yardage. Orgel going to stop. He's going to drop. It's going to be caught. Gained a handful there. It's going to be number 9, Bryce Gittins, on the catch.
That Rebel defensive line's really coming off the ball hard. Keep an eye out maybe for a little screen pass of some sort to keep that defensive line honest.
Third down. Orgel going to stop. He's going to throw it near the sideline. It's going to be caught. And Walker's just going to get wrapped up by the ankles. Not going to go anywhere. So 4th down's coming up.
I would think they'd punt it here. Yeah, it looks like, they're going to punt it.
So the punting unit will come onto the field for the Bruins. High punt. Bounce it around the 50, but I believe it went out of bounds near the 45. So here comes the Rebel offense that has a lot of momentum after tying it up their last possession. The Pulaski Academy defense has got to get a stop here to give the momentum back to the sophomore.
And PA they've started in their own territory plenty of times tonight, so nothing new there. But like I was saying earlier, you got to really wonder about the fatigue right now. They've been on the field. They've done a great job overall, but they have been on the field a lot.
It looks like Orgel's getting checked out by the athletic trainer on the sideline. Just checking out the arm to make sure he can still go and finish this one out. So 1st and 10 from the PA 45. Gio going to call for the snap. They're going to hand the ball off. Tries to get a burst of speed. He'll be wrapped up and dropped after gaining about 5 on that one. 2nd down coming up for the Rebels. And correction, it was a 7-yard gain. So it'll be 2nd and 3. Under 10 to play in the 4th quarter.
I think the Rebels are kind of feeling what you were talking about earlier, Kyle, that kind of feeling some tiredness on the other side, and I think they're just going to be pretty content to keep handing it off to these big backs and keep letting them grind.
Here's we're going to call for the snap. He's going to flip it back.
Uh-oh.
Wide open field. Burst of speed, and he's going to walk towards the goal line, but it'll get pushed out near the 1, and the PA faithful in front of us is looking for a flag, but they're not going to get it. So a 1st and goal coming up for the Rebels.
If he has any kind of space, I mean, that dude's got some wheels, and if there is any kind of space there, he's going to take off like we just saw.
So they're in the Caldwell Toyota red zone after the explosive play.
First down, going to go Rebels from the 1.
Gio's going to call for the snap. He's just going to hand it off. They're going to walk in, and West Monroe reclaims the lead with 9:15 left to go. Touchdown, Rebels.
Yeah, real tough spot now because you're not really sure. Obviously we don't want to speculate too much, but it is kind of clear that, that Orgel's arm is bothering him in some regard. You got to really give him credit for toughing it out. So that obviously is going to limit you a little bit offensively moving forward.
The snap, the kick is up, and it's good. So now 24-17 with 9:15 left. The Rebels are in the lead. Well, gentlemen, it's going to be down to the nitty-gritty for the PA offense.
Yeah, this is really where you just, obviously just trying to make the adjustments that you can, but really this is where you tell your guys you got to really dig deep. You're still in this thing. Obviously that we know where the momentum is, but they were down before, and they ended up coming back to take the lead. So still plenty of time left.
Yep, one play at a time, one drive at a time. I think you got to get back to some of your short passing game that was working earlier, try to build some momentum from that, pick up the pace, and then also hope that one of your stud players will break one and maybe turn it into a big gain.
A long kickoff. Going to bounce into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the PA offense once again. Last time out, they stalled on 3rd down and had to give it right back to the Rebels, which led to the touchdown, which put West Monroe in the lead 24-17. And we're going to see if the sophomore is going to come back out, and he will. Of course, he took a big hit earlier on in the second half and had to come out for a play or two. So we're going to see if the sophomore can lead his team down the field on this drive here. Orgel's going to call for the snap. He's going to roll out. He's going to throw it off his back foot. And that's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get Mason to cut it a little quicker than he did on his deep out route, and also a little bit of pressure in Aaron's face that he had to get it out a little earlier.
So after the incompletion, it's going to be second down for the Bruins. Orgel, screenplay, going to give it to Walker. Walker's just going to be met immediately. Third down coming up for the Bruins.
And Blake, what you were talking about right as the drive was starting, getting these short, these dump offs and everything, they're just covering them up. I think they know that they hadn't really been able to get much going deep and within at least recent, like really in the second half for the most part. So they have done a good job of really covering up those little dump off routes.
3rd and 11. Orgel, the lone man in the backfield. Rolls out, stops, pump fakes, throws it near the sideline, and his receiver couldn't hang on. Incomplete. 4th down coming up for the Bruins. That was intended for number 13, Chase Hancock. Decision time for the Bruins.
Threw that just a little bit late. Chase was right there along the sidelines, and maybe threw that just a second too late, and then the defense closed in.
Looks like the punting unit will trot back out onto the field for the Bruins. And if you're a West Monroe fan, you've gotten pivotal stops at the most crucial moments in tonight's game.
Oh.
High snap. It's going to boot this one. It's going to die out near the 40, and it'll roll out of bounds. Still in PA territory, so the defense will take over on the field. All the momentum is on the West Monroe sideline. PA needs a big stop here.
And this is about the exact same spot. I think they started on the 45 on the last drive of the Bruins. Well, I guess they're moving it there, so that's pretty much the exact spot that they took over on the previous drive.
But this one, you've got to have a stop here. You
absolutely.
can't go down 2 touchdowns this late in the 4th. If I'm PA defense, I'm committing everybody I have to the run. Man up everybody on the outside and get in there.
Gio's going to call for the snap, hand it off. I believe he just got back to the line again. 2nd down coming up for the Rebels.
Yeah, and you're right, Blake. Like kind of we were saying on the last drive. Now at that time it was just a tie ball game. Now you've got a 7-point lead. So they're just going to try to milk that clock down, keep wearing down the defense.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised we're not seeing number 22, Ponte, out there. He seems like that bruising, big running back, fullback that we were talking about that would be perfect for this type of scenario. And I don't see him out there right now.
2nd and 8. Gio going to call for the snap and keep it himself. Gets a handful. 3rd down coming up for the Rebels. The Bruins need a stop on this play here to bring up a 4th down and get an extra possession.
About a yard short. Got to get some penetration on the line and make a play in the backfield. Could be huge for us.
A little over 7 minutes left to go in the game. Rebels are wasting as much clock as they can. Under 10 to go on the play clock.
These linebackers should be flying through the holes.
Gio going to send a man in motion. Going to hand it off, and he stuffs him at the line.
Maybe the best defensive play of the second half so far.
Yeah, first real big, nice negative play there. To bring up a 4th down. It doesn't look like this offense is moving out of there. So
Monroe, they're going to go for it.
Yeah, Monroe's staying out there. Really big play here.
Their offense is trying to tell their fans to get on their feet and cheer on their offense. Student section's going insane. 4th and 2. Arguably the biggest defensive play here for the Bruins if they can get the stop.
Watch this up back sneaking out of the backfield.
Gio going to call for the snap. He's going to hand it off.
Oh, it's tight.
Where are they going to spot him?
Yeah, it's right on the line.
Yeah, he got it. Or did no? Or
they're going to measure, I think.
It sure looked like they were going to give him that spot.
They spotted it right on the line there on the 35, which I think should match up to a first down.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It looked like from the where they were initially going to spot it, they did, but maybe. Yeah,
but I'm not opposed to a measure.
I'm fine.
You know?
Yeah, I'm not arguing.
Might as well.
And they ruled it a first down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. I was about to say I thought that's what it was originally. I was hoping maybe a little bit of reverse psychology there, but yeah.
Well, Coach Lucas is like, hey, let's at least measure it, guys. We're on a timeout anyways.
Yeah.
Why not take the chains out there and see what it looks like? No,
that's tough.
They're leaving that as a first down.
Yeah.
Just ticked under 6 minutes to go. PA still got 3 timeouts. So there's plenty of time. We just got to get this stop. We don't want to go down 2 scores here.
After the 4th down conversion, gives the Rebels a fresh new set of downs. West Monroe lined up here. Just going to pitch it to the tailback.
Low.
And he's going to get wrapped up in the backfield. A little extracurriculars going on near the PA sideline. It'll be 2nd down coming up for the Rebels.
Nice loss, but again, just that first tackler was really high up on the shoulder pads of that running back. You really want him to go for the ankles, go for the knees, and take him out that way.
So 2nd and about 13 here, and West Monroe's just wasting as much clock as they can. Send a man in motion. Gio calls for the snap. He'll hand it off, but he'll get met with a couple Bruins, and he's going to keep his feet going. But he'll be way short of the first down marker. 3rd down coming up for the Rebels. Looks like he just got back to the first chain, so it'll be about 3rd and 10.
Another tackle there from Brylan Ussery and Max Allison combining together in the middle. Like you said, 3rd and long. Here's an interesting one from West Monroe. Do you throw it or do you run it?
I'm going to say they're probably, because we're now under 5 minutes with a touchdown lead. I would think they're going to keep it on the ground here.
Well, the only thing that I think stops me from doing that maybe is that PA has timeout. So even if they do run it, we could call a timeout, keep a lot of time on there.
Gio going to call for the snap. He's going to roll, keep it himself, and a PI roofing penalty flag is going to come out. Who's it going to be on?
I think that's a hold.
And he also got out of bounds for us, which is nice. Yeah, it's a tough one here for Coach Lucas. It could be about 4th and 8 or 3rd and 18. So they are going to take the penalty, back it up, make it a deep 3rd down, but give them an extra play. So that's kind of the yin and the yang there. Guess he might be probably going through his head about could they make the field goal from there on that 4th and 8 and from where were they, about the 45 or 35-ish, something like that. They may have been able to take a long field goal, but this really bumps them out of field goal range if they can get the stop.
And the clock was going to continue to
so
run.
Interesting to me.
So
not only he also went out of bounds on that run and the penalty, and somehow they roll it after that. Play clock's low, under 5.
3 seconds. They got to get the snap off. And they blew the play dead. I wonder if they got a timeout before.
Okay, we'll take it.
Now, if the clock runs here,
yeah,
we're going to have some Bill Belichick moments on our hands.
So now it's a 3rd and very long. 3:53 left to go in this one. Probably should be way over 4.5 minutes left.
And what are these refs talking about? He rolled it again. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Guys, this is
So
insane.
you could really just keep taking delay games for the next 3.5 minutes.
This is crazy. I mean,
if you really wanted to. Wow. I would be ripping this ref a new one.
Yeah.
Well, PA's got 3 timeouts, so, I mean, they could burn one here. Under 10 to go on the play clock. Gonna call for the snap. They're going to hand it off. Another PI roofing penalty flag is going to come out. 2 of them.
I think you have to decline it now.
Yeah.
You've got to decline this. Get it to 4th down. You can't waste any more dang time. You got to decline it.
And it looked like Coach Lucas asked because I saw the ref twist his hand.
Which I think Coach Lucas should take a timeout here. I think if they're gonna if the ref was doing that, I saw the same thing.
Yeah, it looked like he was telling him something about the clock.
It's gonna roll again here. I think might take a timeout to save another 25 seconds, but
so
I guess having 3 minutes wouldn't be the end of the world.
I guess I'm gonna before we go to Texas next week, I'm gonna have to look up all the Texas rules because this is just confusing me.
They snapped it quick too. They saved us.
So I looked it up, and according to the Louisiana rule book, the regulation clock will stop for the following instances: out of bounds, incomplete pass, and other penalties that require clock stoppage.
It blows my mind. I don't know. But luckily there, I guess West Monroe was just trying to be nice guys there. They didn't let 25 run off, and they snapped it after about 3 seconds. So we'll take that extra 20 seconds. Well, here we go, guys. 3:11 on the clock. PA down 7. All their timeouts left, so we got plenty of time. Just got to put together a touchdown drive.
3:11 to go in this one. Oracle back in at QB. And he's going to throw it to Walker. Thought he got batted down for the moment, but Walker is going to keep fighting. He's going to get near the sideline. 2nd down coming up. And they've got to get on this one because he did not go out of bounds, so the clock should continuously run here. About 3:01. The clock hasn't started on the video board just yet.
They're not rolling the clock. I like that.
Orgel's going to roll out, pump fake, and he's going to get brought down in the end zone. And I believe the ball came out. Touchdown, Rebels.
Man, that's tough. Yep, not much more you can say about that one. I mean, just, oh. You know, that's the thing, guys, is we talked about really over the past couple of drives getting just those short plays like that was working in the first half, and it just their defense has adjusted, and they've just covered them up. They're really, I think it's more so just a credit to how well the Rebels have been able to play defense in this second half.
Yeah, you're totally right. They have adjusted that, and especially when they knew Aaron was a little banged up, and they knew he didn't really want to sit down, and PA coaches didn't want him to sit in the pocket forever, so they knew he wasn't going to sit in there waiting on a really long, deep pass. So do give the credit to West Monroe.
So the PAT is up, and the PAT is going to be good. So after the fumble recovery in the end zone, our score, West Monroe 31, your Pulaski Academy Bruins 17. 2:55 left to go in this one, and guys, the Bruins are going to have to fight down a big margin if they want to win this one.
Yeah, they're going to have to score quick and then have to do one of their famous onside kicks and recover it. And, you know, guys, I'll say this. I'm thinking, I'm always looking at silver linings here. I am just extremely proud of the effort, because last week, look, that game was over fairly quickly, or 2 weeks ago against Robinson. And that was one of the biggest questions. How were you going to respond off of that? And they were competitive with them despite turning the ball over 3 times in the first half. And, look, it's still not quite over yet, so you don't want to throw in the towel. But you did see a lot more things that you can work on tonight, and you obviously got another big opponent next week. So we'll see what they can do from here.
Here Here comes the kickoff from West Monroe. Another one goes into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Bruins, down 31-17. Excited to see what the sophomore is going to do on this drive here. Sends a man in motion, left to right. They're going to look to the sideline for the check. Orgel's going to drop back, throw it. Oh. Receiver's not even looking at the ball. Incomplete.
Yeah, Gittens was just running a go route right there. I think maybe Orgel thought that he was either going to turn, maybe he thought he was running a curl or that he was going to turn around and look at it, but just complete miscommunication.
So second down after the incompletion. Orgel calls for the snap, throws it to Walker. Walker catches it at the 30. Forced out of bounds near the 35.
But if he goes out of bounds, is that even going to stop the clock? I don't even know the rules anymore. Okay, so the clock is stopped. I'm not even trying to be a smart aleck. I don't even know what rules are now.
Orgel snaps it off quickly, rolls out, throws it.
Oh, he hit him early, yeah.
And a PI roofing penalty flag comes out. I think everybody sitting right in front of us would have walked onto that field if they didn't throw that one. So that one is a pass interference on the West Monroe Rebels, and that'll move the ball down the field for the Bruins. First and 10 after the penalty. .240 left to go in this one. High snap, Orgel rolls out, has protection, throws it near the sideline. That's going to be caught. I believe that's Bryce Gittens on the reception. Second down upcoming for the Bruins.
And that check down play has been their most successful play so far tonight. I mean, it's just been that kind of 10 yards, sit right on the sideline.
They hand the ball off to Walker. Walker with a burst of speed. He has enough for the Bruins' first down. 2:29 left to go in this one, and a touchdown here would be huge.
Guys, I will say this too. If there's anything I've learned through the years, never give up on PA until the final clock goes out.
Walker up the middle, room to run for the moment, and will be brought down by a sea of navy blue. Have enough for another first down.
And running the ball in this situation isn't bad if you get your 10 yards and stop the clock while they move the chains. And you can see here, PA up and ready to go. They lost no time.
Walker comes out for the moment. Orgel going to fake the handoff to Mitchell. Gittens has it. Going to spin away. He'll get hit in the back. A PI roofing penalty flag is going to be thrown near the 20. We're going to see what this call is.
Block in the back, maybe.
Pass complete to Gittens. Stop by Mason Willis. Holding. Offense. Number 1. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay. First down.
Max is going to get called for the hold there, so they'll back the play up, and it'll be first and very long.
God, that one hurts. You were inside the 10-yard line. Now you're back at the 28.
Orgel Stands in the pocket, throws it, has a man in the end zone for the moment. PI Roofing, penalty flags all day.
Was that Great House down there? Yeah, that's Great House. And I tell you guys, pretty good job by him there.
Boxing him out there.
Boxing him out a little bit. That
Exactly.
was a really smart play.
I'll let the ref go here, and then I'll give my opinion on that. So, yeah, it is a penalty, pass interference on the defense. One thing I've never really liked, again, this is just my opinion, though, is that when the ball is underthrown, I feel like pass interference should not be a thing.
Yeah.
Now, if he had overthrown him and he still grabbed onto him, then I'm good with it. But, hey, I'll take it as a PA fan and a PA broadcaster. I'll take it, but that's just my little hot take of football rules.
In the Caldwell Toyota red zone. Oracle calls the snap. Pressure coming. Throws it over the middle. He gets hit as he went to catch it. Incomplete. No flags.
Yeah, it looks like there's another Rebel banged up.
So it'll be second down after the injury.
No, Blake, I tend to agree with you, though. It's one of those don't hate the player, hate the game type deals where, yeah, I mean, you might think one way, but then the rules are the rules, and so he knew that.
Oh, yeah.
And so he made sure to box him.
Exactly.
Get that penalty.
And you see some of the college and NFL players that are so good at that, manipulating their body, and they know they're in the right spot to where it doesn't matter how bad the pass is, and they can still work their body in a way to get the flag, which I don't really like, but – hey, it is what it is.
It worked out for us on this one.
Yeah. Rules are rules. So I think that was just an official's timeout for the injury, but a good time for PA to grab a quick drink of water and a breath as this drive is getting close to the end here.
So second down after the official timeout. Oracle throws it over the middle, and it's just dropped after the contact. So incomplete. Third down coming up for the Bruins.
And obviously, no question, 4 down territory, just being down 2 scores or 2.
Third down.
Chase one-on-one down here. Nope.
Oracle's going to roll out. Throw it off his back foot. It's going to be caught by Walker. It's going to be out of bounds. The referee's going to signal for the clock to keep rolling.
Need to get this play in quick regardless. I know it's fourth down, but we got to have enough time on the other side.
Under 90 seconds to play in this one. 31-17, still a score. Fourth down. Oracle going to roll out. Throws it to the end zone. Oh. And he just drops it. Incomplete.
Man, tough.
Pass is incomplete, and the Rebels take over on down.
Well, guys, while we have a break in the action, I think we have the Kaufman Lumber hit of the game. Of course, it's a play we've talked about all night, Kyle. I mean, great play here.
Yeah, right here. Just, again, this is the one that, as I said, when it happened, this is one you keep for film sessions and always show to never give up on a play. And really, I know that this one hasn't gone our way in the end here, but I know, again, there's just a little bit over a minute left on the clock, but certainly can't fault that. I mean, that really is what turned the tide and got the Bruins the lead on that next ensuing offensive drive.
So 1:12 left to go in this one. Rebels take it over after the turnover on downs. Hand the ball off. Tries to break away from one. Wow. I have enough of the first, I do believe. So they'll move the chains on down, and they'll have a fresh new set of downs.
Well, you think about this game, you think about Robinson, then you go to a very tough Highland Park team, which was I think they're 5A Division II, but nonetheless, they were the state runner-up in their classification. Obviously, another loaded team, plenty of college prospects, coached by Randy Allen, one of the best ever to coach high school football nationally, not just in Texas. So you think about these teams that they're playing. I mean, you're probably, as far as your conference, I mean, the 7A Central is tough. I'll finish after this play.
We handed off there. Bounces away from one. Be brought down. 25 left to go in this one. And I mean, you brought up a great point, Kyle, as the clock's just going to tick away here. Likely that's going to be the final play of this one, but you finish your non-con and then you move into conference.
Well, and from what we've seen so far, I mean, other than maybe Bryant, they're playing the best teams that they're going to play in the regular season. You know, again, the 7A Central is very – I mean, you got Conway. You got a lot of great teams in that league. But, I mean, this is non-conference is for learning, and they've had plenty of learning lessons.
Blake, overall thoughts on tonight's game?
Yeah, I feel like I think they came out with a nice intensity in the first half, but I feel like just since halftime, I mean, we didn't score another point and gave up 2 crucial drives back-to-back where they scored. They got us on a quick 3-and-out and scored, and it was just an insurmountable lead at that point. So, again, yeah, tough loss, but like Kyle said, plenty of stuff to continue to work on and as we move closer.
Yeah, and that's something, too, that whenever, especially when you're used to doing to Robinson what Robinson did to you 2 weeks ago, that was the biggest question. How are they going to bounce back? There are plenty of teams that take a loss like that, and you come back and you don't have really much to show for it. That was not what we saw here tonight. They fought and they fought and they fought. They overcame 3 turnovers in the first half to, as you said, Blake, they went into the halftime with the lead, but we're not able to sustain that and keep the offense going. You know, maybe Orville getting a little banged up had something to do with that, but just to see the competitiveness in this one, that was at least the encouraging part there.
Well, that's going to do it for us up in the booth. We'll remind everybody our final scores: the Rebels 31, the Bruins 17. Next week, we'll be back here on PA Live, the Natural State Sports Network from Dallas, Texas, as the Bruins take on Highland Park. For Blake Amsler, Kyle Sutherland, and all of our crew, I'm Tristan Harlen saying so long and good night. We'll see you guys next time. Go Bruins.